I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's he'll be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is a community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them, dear listener. Let us know how things are. First of all, let me type 22 if you can hear me. What's up, Riv? Riv Roth in the house. I hope you're doing well, buddy. I know the situation. I hope you're doing well, though. We got Franco in the house. Let us know. Type 22 if you can hear. I'm looking at the levels. It's got us at yellow, so that's pretty good.
22. There we go.
Okay, guys, we are gonna jump Yoko Ono Chamberlain. Oh, it's Amy Lee.
I literally thought it was Dwayne.
I 100% thought that is Dwayne.
or Dwayne's wife coming in.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Dwayne married Yoko. It would not surprise me if Dwayne married Yoko. Okay. Sori looks pretty, yeah? She always does, dear listener. Alright. We're going right into this. This is DJ Mike's stream. You can see his stream key right here, dear listener. DJ Mike Franco since 2021 in this bitch. I think 2021 was the first time that Mike
did a stream with
officially became a DJ. You too, dear listener, could be a DJ as well. 4 songs. The Lady in the House, perfect. Let's doing this shiz again. Let me get rid of Chrome. Inshallah. Did you see my little song vid? No, I didn't see your little song yet. I'm going to check it out. Is it in the messenger? If it's in the messenger, I'm going to check it out right after this. All right. We got Yoko Chamberlain in the house.
Also, if you send anything to me, I'm all out of all my stuff. My phone broke, so none of my... The new phone that they got me was too small, so it couldn't fit all my stuff moved over to it. So now I'm in the middle of a big mess with that, so I don't have any of my regular information. Shh.
All right, guys. Song numero uno comes from the Big Homies, and the band Solosis is the name of the band. What's the name of the song for Solosis?
The name of the song is Reflections Through Fire.
Reflections Through Fire, dear listener. All right, here we go. Song numero uno, Reflections Through Fire. DJ Mike, we in this bitch. Let's go! Here we are. Okay, so you're not really a guitar person. So what
I
was?
don't know why you say that. I am a guitar person.
Well, I mean, it's not something that you like consistently point out in songs.
Oh,
You
no,
see
no,
what
no,
I'm
no,
saying?
no. Okay,
Like,
all right. Yeah, I would agree with
you
that.
don't really follow what's going on guitar wise.
Look how blurry it is.
That's okay. So what was going on with you as you were hearing the song?
Well, first of all, it was heavy. I liked the vocal style. And first of all, I couldn't see all the lyrics, but I sent it. Did you get that?
Yeah.
Okay. And I couldn't see all the lyrics, but the lyrics that I did pick up on was relevant to me. So I really liked that. But I liked the heaviness. I liked the flow of the song. I also like the...
Reset it.
It was very smooth. For me, it was exactly the stuff that I like. Okay, here.
Yeah, sonically it was pretty crazy. Was he saying all the lovely comments you're making cannot be heard? What? No. Are they screwing with us now?
Well,
Yeah,
4 people have said it.
They must be screwing with us. They can hear now. Type 22 if you can hear us now. I see that they're moving. Yeah, I really loved all the guitar stuff on this track. I almost like got distracted from the lyrics because I was like so in love with the guitar track. What they were doing guitar wise was crazy. I begin descent into a world to another domain where the anguish screams and fire will fill the air. Yeah, but that's Dwayne. Dwayne is gonna say stuff because I'm looking at the reader now. The reader is picking us up at a pretty good register, so
Okay.
They're just screwing with us at this point, which is fine. Do that if you want, you horrible people. Okay, so what is he talking about here?
Okay.
Where the anguish screams and fire will fill the air and the burning stench of sulfur asphyxiates, where nothing is for certain and where no one can be safe. Forced into fire, struck down as I prepare to take this final step. May my reflection fade as I wash away what's left of this life. To endure is all I can attempt. Damnation everlasting, where sentenced souls in prison will not repent. And there is no darker way to face this decline than where I am right now, the end of time, forced into fire, struck down as I prepare to take this final step. May my reflection fade as I wash away what is left of this life. Is this all that's left? Is this all that I am? Escape from this bitter end. The only thought remains, aspire to contend. Wander blindly into the night, hope to receive a sign I will survive. Struck down as I prepare to take this final step. It almost sounds like
man's
he's
going to hell.
He's going to hell.
Yeah.
Yeah. What makes you think he's going to hell?
Well, I mean, I begin descent into a world to another domain where the anguished screams and fire will fill the air. I mean, fire and screaming. And the burning stench of sulfur. We've all heard of sulfur, brimstone. Asphyxiates, where nothing is for certain, where no one can be safe. Forced into fire. Although nobody's forced into it. People make a million choices in their life. You know, I always used to think that was like one decision. Like you chose God or you didn't choose God. I didn't realize like it's 100 decisions. Like I was thinking about that verse that says like, basically now on the spot I can't think of it. Basically like you're supposed to acknowledge God in everything that you do and he's going to direct the paths that you're going to take.
Yeah, lean not on your own understanding.
Yeah.
Trust in him at all times and he'll direct your path.
Yeah, so like people make a million decisions throughout their lifetime of choosing themselves or choosing something else. So I don't think it's just, and that's why I'm saying I don't think anybody's forced into fire. But I think that's what he's talking about.
Yeah, it was a very interesting show because you know that dude that was like in O Block, but he's like a Christian now, so he speaks against all these people.
Yeah, that was refreshing.
So it's interesting because he was on No Jumper, which is... Remember that dude I was telling you about where he, like, his wife is making videos with other dudes and shit? He's, like, cool with it or whatever. That whole situation.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so he was on No Jumper, and the dude was asking, you know, is God gonna send a good atheist to hell or a good Muslim to hell because they couldn't logically get to Christianity? Is he gonna look at the person's life and say, well, you were generally a good person. You missed on this one thing, but otherwise you were genuinely a good person. So, come in. Is God going to send someone to hell because And really, when the question gets framed like that, it's kind of like, I understand it because it makes it sound like a person has an eternity in hell because he missed the right answer to a multiple choice quiz.
Yeah.
And, so, which, I mean, that's the way, I would say I was raised that way. I don't know if anybody would articulate it that way, the way I was raised. Like, nobody would say God will send you to hell because of, well, I don't know. What did you think?
I thought that because that's why I felt like the blood was on my hands. Like if I didn't tell everybody and try to convert everybody, I thought if somebody doesn't convert, that it was because I didn't present it well enough, and so I'm to blame for this person going to hell. That was really stressful.
Yeah.
So I guess I would have thought that,
Yeah. Yeah. That's it. It really wasn't until, I mean, it's when you start looking at history, like that whole like problem didn't get solved to me until I started looking into, Nazi Germany.
Oh, really?
And yeah, that changed my entire understanding of hell because I've always said the terror of Nazi Germany was not Hitler. The terror of Nazi Germany was not Hitler. The terror of Nazi Germany for me was you could have neighbors that live next to you.
100%.
Like you.
Yeah.
And then certain situations come about, certain life circumstances, conspire together.
Honestly, I think it's just fear.
Whatever it is.
Fear gets into people's heart and then that's it.
Whatever it is, the concept that regular people, not sociopathic people, not psychopathic people, regular people who don't have massive pathologies, the fact that an entire nation of people can be marshaled against their neighbors. Like,
that's even, it's not like neighbor as in like someone that lives in the city, but like literally your neighbor. You've been like shooting the breeze with this person. Yeah.
You've done their hedges. They watch your house when you go on vacation.
Yeah.
The idea that you could get those people to turn on their neighbors and take part in massacring their neighbors but those people still think they were good people is crazy to me.
Yeah.
So that changed like my entire perspective on the entire concept of hell. Like it was that, and there was another movie.
The Purge.
No, it wasn't The Purge. It was the one you can't escape God's wrath. I forgot the name of it. It was
like that creepy one where
the
father
it was this movie where this father was getting these messages from God.
Yeah.
And he starts jamming up these people and hiding them in his basement and killing them, all types of craziness. And like it was a crazy thing to watch. And then the big kicker was at the end of the movie, it turned out that none of those people were innocent. Like all the people he killed were like serial killers and whatever. Like they were bad people. Mm-hmm. So like at the end of the movie, you're like, oh well, shit. I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad. But like it really again.
That one messed with me so much.
The capacity for regular normal people, to do that to their neighbors.
I'll tell you what's affecting me
is made me say, okay, that's why hell. That's where. Okay, go ahead.
Also, you see it all the time on Facebook or whatever, like, people videoing horrible situations. Like, I won't sit there and watch them, I'll scroll past them, but the idea that somebody said, like, I saw a video, that actually, this one I did watch. Somebody was videoing, somebody's friggin' kid was on the top of a roof,
Jeez.
And they were jumping back and forth, and babe, these kids looked small. They looked like 8, 9 years old, and I thought, wow, what a wicked, evil person to record that, and then put it up. I would be running out of my building, trying to get up to the friggin' top of that building, calling 911 on the way. I mean, I'm not saying that I'm a perfect or good person, I've got my own issues, but like, that to me is like, people are getting like, crazy about like wanting to catch a viral video rather than trying to protect their neighbor.
Yeah, it's incredible. I was just on Middle America, and some dude went up to Lauren Boebert, guess she's one of these young, whatever. She's a Republican, and I guess they're handing out these green little lapel. You know how you have the pink lapel for cancer, the ribbons.
Yeah, the ribbon. Yeah.
Dude's like, this is for the kids in Uvalde that died. You know the whole situation in Texas
kids,
where those brave peace officers in Texas stood outside the door while them babies were getting massacred, calling for help, calling for their parents. So this guy is part of the whole gun reform, whatever. He's like, hey, here's this medal, this thing for the kids in Uvalde. And she doesn't break a stride. She takes the thing from him, and then she puts it in the trash.
What?
It's like...
Why would she do that?
It's like... This is what I'm talking about. Like, the whole, like... Republican, pro-life, blah, blah, and everybody knows where I am on that topic. But, like, it was just crazy to me to watch, like, the disregard that this woman had for these kids. But I know that... if some pro-choice, pro-life thing comes up, she's going to be out there, and she doesn't realize, like, how she's devalued the lives of...
Yep.
Then there was this other thing where, like, I couldn't believe it was
Nor would she
true.
do it if she was face-to-face with one of those parents, and they said, please, where, like, if there's a situation like that, but I think people get too... You think that she'd in the face of one of those parents?
Well, what happened is that she's looking at it like, if I wear this, then that means I support gun reform, or whatever.
Oh, my God.
And my thing is... I can wear it, whatever your opinion on the gun thing is, and the only solution I have to the gun thing is at least expand Medicare to cover mental health
100%
maladies and come up with some sort of national initiative to try to get men to go get mental help, because that would drop the shootings precipitously. Other than that, I don't know how to solve the gun problem. But however you want to solve, I mean, there's more guns than human beings in America. We've talked about this a million times. Like, I get being like, I don't think that this is the way to solve the problem, but to just throw it in the trash, like, there's no way you can say, I'm wearing this pin to say rest in peace to these kids and to honor their parents, and at the same time, like, I don't necessarily think that their solution is the solution. Like, there's a lot of things you could do, but what she did, she just took it and threw it in the garbage like it was nothing.
Yeah.
Then there was this other thing with this,
She could have said it. Like, we saw her do that, then she could have said, I don't agree with this, and that, or the other, but I do stand with these parents and these children, blah, blah, blah. Like, that, she could have done that.
She could have, but she doesn't care. So she doesn't stand with them, obviously. Like, she just threw it in the trash. But
I thought you said she was doing that because she didn't agree with the gun reform thing or whatever.
Right, that's the reason why. But
that doesn't mean she doesn't care about the kids.
I don't think she cares. I don't think she cares about those kids at all. Because, like I said, I get it. Like, you don't necessarily have to, like, support gun reform or whatever it is that they want. But the point is, like, that's why people go to hell. It's like that normal, everyday person who is full of incalculable evil. Like, that moment. And then there was another one in Texas, I guess, where... There was one in Texas where... I guess the head of the sheriff's department told one of their subordinates to toss one of these kids back into the river or whatever. It's like a 4-year-old kid.
Please say that again, because I feel like I didn't catch that.
Yeah, like there's an investigation.
I'm serious.
There's
Please
an
say it again,
investigation
because my
going on.
mind
Like,
did
the
not...
guy, the kid swam across them because Texas is a border. And this dude is saying that his commanding officer told him to chuck the kid back into the water. This is what he's saying. I don't know, but that's what he's saying. And then they're talking about, like, putting razors, all types of, like, booby traps and shit in the water with these people trying to cross over. And then, of course, you have people justifying, well, they shouldn't have been here. Blah, blah. So it's like, that's why people go to hell. It's that everyday, boring... selfishness, disregard for the other, disregard for human life.
Oh my God, just throw the kid back.
Just chuck him back in there. And then I'm sure, like, that sheriff voted pro-life, like, this shit is incredible to me.
Yep, and then you have a bunch of reformed people or whatever. I mean, I say reformed. You have a bunch of people that'll just say, well, they should have come in legally, instead of, like, actually feeling for these families. Like, if that was your kid and you were born over there.
Yeah, like, it's just that unnecessary cruelty. Like, what the hell is going on? So like I'm looking at this song like, and you're right, like in one sense, like people just send themselves to hell. But this to me like says the other question, like what No Jumper was asking. He was like, you send a relatively good person to hell for missing a multiple choice question. It's like, no, there are no relatively good people. That's the problem. And like, it doesn't matter what side you're on. Each side is defined by having complete disregard for the lives of human beings. Like, each side has a stratified system as to what's valuable and what's not. Who's worth crying over and who's not. It's
Which
just,
is why both sides need each other, because we could balance each other. The
Yeah,
pro-lifers and the people that care about the border.
Yeah.
Or the people that care about all the bombings that we're doing all over the place. Or the people that care about mental health and the people that don't have health care.
Yeah. No, I agree. But like, so my understanding of hell and who goes there has evolved to a degree, because I think most of the torments in hell are self-inflicted. Because if you are a selfish person and you are so full of selfishness and hatred toward other human beings that you can just throw that in the garbage. Like, I don't care what they're promoting. If it was a kid who died there and it was a parent of somebody, I would rock that shit with pride.
Yeah.
First of all, if you're on the right, you generally get blamed for every time there's a school shooting anyway because of the right's position on guns, which I don't think is necessarily fair. But like, for somebody to reach out on the other side to give you that, I'm sure he had a political motivation or whatever, but the evil is like, you couldn't look past the politics because you didn't want to give those people a W. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You didn't want to give them a win, so you're just going to throw it in the trash because, like, this is how hardcore we're tribalized. Like, and it, like, my understanding of hell, like, oddly enough, is more of an Eastern Orthodox understanding, which is kind of like the door is locked from the inside, and the torments that you endure in hell are the torments that you're enduring now. There's no way that Lauren Boebert and the rest of these people are happy people. You kind of endure your own personal hell, and then that kind of continues. Like, if you read C.S. Lewis's The Great Divorce, that's kind of what you see, is like, who goes to hell and why. So, like, for example, in The Great Divorce, like, the first people that you meet, this guy ends up in, the afterlife, but he's kind of like in a purgatory state. He's not like in like the good place, but it's kind of like purgatory, which is kind of interesting because it's C.S. Lewis and he's supposed to be a Protestant. But anyway, the dude's in this sort of purgatory place, and then he gets on this bus and he gets to like the gates of heaven or whatnot. And the first dude that greets him at the gates of heaven is this happy, smiling guy. He's full of life and everything. And he's like, "Wait a minute, aren't you a murderer?" I think he killed him. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
It was some shit like, he's like, "Aren't you a murderer? Didn't I arrest you or something?" Like, "What are you doing in heaven?" The guy's like, "Yeah, I know, it's terrible. I was a really horrible guy,
I thought, like, one was in heaven and then the guy that had killed him showed up later and they were greeting each other, whatever, and the other person was like, "What's happening?" And then he was like...
Well, one of the guys that he killed was, like, saying what's up to him, and they were, like, cool, they were happy.
Yeah.
And the dude, who was just a regular guy, not a killer or whatever, he refused to go into heaven because he didn't believe that the guy that
like
committed that crime should be able to enjoy heaven. So he refused to go to... But this is what I'm talking about, like your own personal hell. Like, that dude was a judgmental, whatever, religious hypocrite, whatever, Pharisee, whatever you want to call him. And so he's not going to enter into heaven because he doesn't believe... he's got a border policy too, and he doesn't believe those people deserve to be there.
Yep.
So it's like, that's wild to me that there's going to be like maybe evangelicals who refuse to go to heaven because there's a trans person over there and a Margaret Singer over there, and wouldn't you know it, by God's grace they're in, and instead of celebrating, these evangelicals be like, "Man, fuck these people, bro. We've been fighting." You see what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I do. I think too that sometimes people that are really bad resent really good people. Maybe because I don't know why. I haven't really thought it through, but I have seen it before. And I've experienced it at different points when I've been frustrated with whatever, and like somebody's goodness is annoying to me, you know, or vice versa. You know what I mean? So I think that that's.
Yeah, it's just crazy. So like when I think about people who go to hell, I don't even think that phrase "go to hell" is in the scripture. It looks to me like it's a state of mind that in this world you can get out of. So like any negative thought pattern that you have, whether it's judgmentalism, hatred, not viewing all humans as equal, you know, not viewing women as like equal, you know, race, whatever ism, whatever horrible thing that you have in your mind, all of us know that none of us are perfect. So somewhere along the line, God's going to say, okay, this has to change, this has to change. And that's the moment. Because that's, the guy says, like, I am unrepentant, which simply means just change your mind on this stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, okay, you hate trans people. God loves you unconditionally. Change your mind. Stop hating them. Mm-hmm. Don't hate them. Talk to them. Make friends with them. The Bible doesn't say we have to agree with everyone. But it does say we have to love everyone. So it's a difficult, I mean, you know, and if you don't, it's not like God has to say, okay, if you're not a loving person, I'm going to make your life a living hell. Your life is just going to be a living hell. There's no way you could tell me that Lauren Boebert, whatever her name is a happy person. Mm-hmm.
Well,
there's just no way.
The Bible actually talks about praying for your enemies, and I don't think enemy just means like somebody that you like drastically hate. It can just be somebody that you aren't seeing it like them. So like you said, like maybe somebody has like all these judgments toward a trans person, or they have all these judgment towards whatever, and you're supposed to pray for that person or that group of people, and you can't consistently do that and actually like the prayer is going to get really boring unless you actually start thinking about like caring for people, because other than that it's just going to be basic. Help that person. I don't like them. Help them to stop doing that thing, whatever. Like the prayer, you can't pray that every single day, multiple times a day, maybe. Every time you start feeling that frustration or whatever toward the person or the people group, that prayer is going to get super boring, and you're going to start realizing you actually have to apply yourself to praying for your enemy. So when you do, you start seeing, it's like the Maleficent thing. You know, she's such a horrible character in Sleeping Beauty, but then you actually, you know, they break down the story and you start feeling bad for her. The guy cut her wings off and then, you know, all the things happen to her. Yeah. And so, like, that's what happens when you pray for your enemy, when you actually do, is you start digging and you start looking and start understanding. And then, you know, things are different. But if you don't, it's just crazy because you'll have all these people that are, you know, Christian people even, that are, like, judging other people groups but not praying for them. Hating people and not praying for them. Mm-hmm. And so it's like you're gonna stand before God and it's gonna be like you didn't obey my commands on that because I told you to pray for them and you never did.
Mm-hmm. The song was crazy though. It was definitely like a vision of what it would be like to get ushered into hell. Like that looks like okay. that looks like it would suck pretty bad.
I totally did my Sori thing and made the song something else. It says, like, will I survive? Struck down as I prepare to take the final step. May my reflection fade as I wash away what is left of this life. Forced into fire, forced into fire. To me, because I didn't see, like, all of, like this person's going to hell stuff at the beginning. I was just, like, feeling the vibe of it. I thought it was, like, somebody that was, like, going to face their, you know, like, you talked about mindsets that people have. And, like, you said, like, changing your mind about something and actually going in a different direction about it. So I thought it was like somebody coming to that point where they were going to face the fire and like change things about themselves that they needed to, because it talked about their struck down as I prepare to take the final. So like they're struck, you know, like when you're ready to like do the thing and then like something else like takes you down, like that. So I thought it was struck down as I prepare to take the final step. May my reflection fade as I wash away what is left of this life. It was, to me, it was like washing away all the ego and then forced into fire, which is like I'm going in and I'm forcing myself into this situation where I'm going to, you know, change this or that thing about myself. Maybe you're going to get sober or you're going to, you know, everybody has their own vice, you know? So that to me was what it was about. So I was with it.
Yeah.
Till I realized the homie was talking about going forced into hell.
Yeah, but if I would have been raised with the idea that just like Christians say that eternal life starts now with Jesus, eternal death starts now too.
Oh, 100%.
And that's one of the biggest insights I got from that book, The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis, was that when he met James McDonald, because James McDonald was his like big hero, and he was explained like that was his like shit. He looked so much. He so looked up to James McDonald, but he said James McDonald basically that conversation like it didn't change my view of hell. Well, I mean it solidified ideas that were already spinning around. But he basically said, just like eternal life with Christ starts the moment you meet him and accept him and start walking with him. Eternal death comes too when you have the moment you meet Christ and you reject him, and you're now on the path of, eternal death, and so you're already in hell, and you're already in heaven. It's just a matter of time.
Yeah.
To where the illusions of the material world get which is kind of. It's kind of fascinating because I'm starting to see it happen to a lot of scientific people in real time. I was just watching George Knapp. He was on the show with Kurt Jaimungal. And Kurt Jaimungal, to me, is probably the most sincere human being on the internet. And he talks about how when he talks about quantum entanglement, spooky action at a distance, local realism no longer being a thing, it really destabilizes him. Like he has a real
is that the guy that always has the cat hair on him, or is it the younger kid with the dark hair?
He looks like an Indian.
Okay, that's what I thought it was. Honey, whoa, just
need you.
Okay, can you just ask Grandma to help?
Ask Grandma to help.
Okay.
Thanks.
So man, it's just the concept that hell is something that you start with now and complete once the illusions of this platform are gone. That was such a mind-blowing idea to me, but I think it's really true.
Yeah, I think one thing that I've been thinking about a lot too is that there are, more or less what path you're on by, Jesus says that he's the way, the truth, and the life, but he also says that he said, come to me, my burden is light, and it's light and it's easy. Yeah. And so if it doesn't mean
I'm meek
life.
and lowly of heart.
Yeah. Why did you say that part? What's
that's just crazy to me
that?
That's God is saying that he's lowly of heart. Like God is saying that.
Humble?
Yeah, lowly of heart. Like I'm not a cruel taskmaster. Like I'm not out here trying to make life difficult for you. I'm not trying to make life more crazy for you than it has to be. Like that's kind of the idea. But. Yeah,
I was thinking like how he says like his burden is light and that there's like it's peaceful to be with him. And then I was thinking when you're away from that, like everything is, you hear it so many times and, you do a lot of different research and you listen to a lot of different people and some of them repeatedly say how tired they are, how exhausted they are, how, stressed out they are. And it just, to me, is evidence, like the closer that you are with Jesus and the more you are walking, because the Bible makes things a little bit more simple, like if you actually just follow them at the like base points. So life can be more simple, but we for instance, fear is a big thing that affects a lot of us, and we get stressed out based off of fearful thoughts that we have, and the thoughts that go on are not necessarily reality or something that's going to happen. It's just, well, this could happen or that could happen, and then you end up all wound up and all stressed out, and people make bad decisions when they're in situations like that because they're basing it off of fear instead of wisdom. But I can't remember where I was going with that.
Where'd you get the song?
Oh, anyway, but that's what I was going to say. Was I always think of the, on the Pirates of the Caribbean? Yeah. When the pirates take the money that doesn't belong to them and then they become cursed. To me, that cursed state is what actually people are like internally when they don't have that. Because Jesus says he's rivers of living water. Okay, honey, I don't need you to announce that. Please help him. Get that and just...
Yeah, go try to put that on him.
And if you can't, ask Grandma.
I know.
Okay, close that door, please.
Good big brother. Good job. Put on that diaper.
So yeah, you know what I'm talking about? Did you see that movie?
Which one?
Like, it doesn't matter when he's drinking the wine or he eats the apple and he said he can't feel, he can't taste, like nothing. Like, I think that there's one side of it. There's like one side of it where people have like this insatiable lust for everything and it's never satisfied. That's one bad point about it. And then the other one is when you can't enjoy anything. Mm-hmm. Like, remember we heard about that one artist where he was having so much sex that then he was like throwing friggin' baloney at the girls, like, you know what I mean?
Like
Manson
and
I wasn't gonna name him, but
Lesnar.
Yeah. So to me, it's like,
he put it in her book.
He did.
Book,
yeah.
You know, what can you do? The 9.2 for me.
Oh my gosh, 9.9 for me.
Another nameless ghoul. Shout out to the homie.
I know I want more Ghost, but I gotta wait till it
9.2.
gets requested. 9.9 for me. We'll be right back.
Oh, 9.9.
I really love this song. To me, this is like this is like play it in the car.
Who would have thought? You and Ben Bear had the same idea. 10 out of 10. All right, dear listener. We're coming right back with another banger for you. Vin out.
Sorry out.
Gone. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village. Facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
So buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
DJ
Yes, dear
Mike up in the
listener.
house tonight with, he always brings a great list.
Yeah.
He always brings stuff that I'm like, that's going to my playlist. That's going to my playlist. All right, up next is a band you may know, you may have heard of before. It's called Triuvium. This is actually the song we didn't get to hear last night. It's a gunshot to the head of trepidation. Gunshot to the head of trepidation. I literally had to look away from the word when I was reading it because looking at it was gonna mess it up.
Here is the effect that Solosis had on a villager. Let's just call him a villager.
Yep.
This is funny because it's not bringing it over.
Yeah,
so
I'll let it create it.
Who knows? Yeah, that's funny. That's interesting. That kind of file. All right, here we go, guys.
So Triuvium, a gunshot to the head of trepidation. Let's go.
A gunshot to the head of trepidation. Let's do it. Triuvium is the name of the band. Let's do it. Damn, I don't know which one it is.
I won't say.
That's not it. That's not it. See, this thing doesn't have the titles on it like the other ones do.
I don't know.
Is that it?
I don't know. How would I know? But I know something like that. We just have to.
Saying Hypercast is unmuted. Okay. Actually, I know. Talk to the people.
All right. I was thinking that doesn't sound like Matt Heffy.
That's Avenged Sevenfold.
All right, Vinny's gonna get it.
That's Solosis.
No worries.
There it goes. All right, here we go.
Earth says, "Let's
Gunshot to the head of trepidation. Hey, Middle Earth is here. What's up, buddy? I was just thinking about you. Gunshot to the head of trepidation. Let's go.
Yes. Yeah, I agree.
Gunshot to the head of trepidation. My promise is you gotta lay a finger. Oh. Boom, boom!
Just look at these gun you make. The terror makes your kids break. The broken homes of them you were raised. With them sweet up to your children. All of you will end right here. How long will you feel the need? How long will you feel the need? I'll go down to the end of termination. I promise if you ever lay a finger.
Can you imagine this at the Trivium, gunshot to the head of trepidation. That looks to be about an abusive dad, right? You feed your kids on neglect and then
fill them with fear.
Fill them with fear. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did that? Go ahead.
I think that is more common than we realize. Like, I remember before having kids, like, meeting people's teenagers, because I used to work with teenagers, and, like, they were all, in my opinion, they were all neglected.
Neglected, like...
As in...
Completely, emotionally, physically?
Right,
what?
emotionally. Parents didn't know how to do it, they didn't know how to deal with it, and so, yeah. Yeah,
it's crazy to me that... You know, when COVID was like really in its heyday and the lockdowns were happening, domestic shut up. Everything domestic shut up.
Yeah.
Meaning like husband on wife violence, on kid violence, all types of shit.
I guess it was really hard for like a lot of kids where their parents were abusing each other because they usually had an escape.
Yeah.
And they didn't have that escape anymore.
Yeah, it was horrible.
Or parents that go after their kids just...
It's horrible. Like I'm looking at this story right now where you know, if the kid is transitioning, they tell the teacher, but the teacher won't necessarily tell the parent. Mm-hmm. And like obviously as a parent, like that's going to put up so many red flags.
Oh my
like
gosh.
What do you but at the same time like their argument is some of these kids could die and get kicked out. I mean, you've already, like, I'm a teacher and I would like to, if I was a teacher, I would like to believe that if a kid said something that significant, I would let the parents know. But what if the kid comes to school every day with like 3 black eyes or whatever and, you know, always has a cover story, and you know the dad is like some hardcore, like, I don't want to stereotype it, but like, what do you do in that situation? I don't think it's that simple for these teachers.
I mean, I'll tell you the truth. When I was working with the teens, I didn't tell squat to their parents.
That's what I'm saying, like...
Nor would I have, even if I went back, because the parents that I knew, their reactions to stuff, because I knew if I said something to the parents, then the kid was going to stop talking to me. And I knew they weren't going to be talking to their parents. It wasn't going to change their relationship with their parents.
Yeah, like...
If I saw if the parent was, like, involved and wanting to, you know what I mean? Like, but it...
Like I said, I get it. Like, I completely and totally get it.
But I would not want somebody doing that to me. I would be very upset if somebody knew something significant about my kid and didn't tell me.
Yeah, 100%. But that's...
I was a teenager myself when I was doing it.
That's the... But, like, you know, because I've been in situations where the mom is the abuser, and, like, that's terrible, and you hear stories of the mom, like, driving a car over a cliff and unaliving everybody in the car or whatnot, but, like, it's a completely different dynamic when it's the dude, you know, and he's and it's crazy because, like, what is it, Radio Flyer was the name of this movie, and, my little brother got obsessed with that movie. So there was one summer where every day we had to watch Radio Flyer because that's how it was. But the whole point of Radio Flyer was, I mean, it's a sad story. But at the time, I didn't understand what was going on in the story. But it's basically this abusive dad, and these kids were like, they had this little like cart, you know, those little red pull carts or whatever.
Like a wagon?
Yeah, a little wagon.
Yeah.
And so they would use their imagination that they would go down this hill and like fly away. You know? And then like his little brother, like I'm not going to give away the spoiler, but like at the time we were kids. So I didn't understand the significance of what was going on. I didn't understand like the metaphors. I didn't understand like the read between the line stuff. To me, it was like I just took it literally, like, oh, he flew off in this Radio Flyer away from all this pain, but then he left his brother behind. I'm like, what the hell? But Jamie was obsessed with that movie for a while. But yeah, man, like the whole specter of like, because the dude is like completely stronger than you. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's crazy because I've never been in a situation where
That's interesting.
there was like
I
an
didn't
abusive.
expect that you were going to say him.
Well, the subject is an abusive father.
Oh, yeah, I know, but I didn't expect it to be that brother that kept watching it. For some reason, I thought it was your older brother.
No. It's my little brother that kept watching it.
But the older brother
But
left the younger one?
No, the younger brother left the older one. I mean, I
Oh.
think, you know, like I said, like I don't want to like give away spoilers to the movie. I'm probably not gonna watch it again now, especially, you know, all the shit that went down. But like he was just an abusive dad, and it was just. I wasn't young enough to understand all the dynamics and everything that was going on. And I think Jamie was looking at it because the brothers were really close.
Yeah.
Because we didn't have a situation like that where there was like an abusive dad like beating the shit out of everybody. That's just we didn't grow up that way. So that wasn't it.
It was just a lot of commotion, though.
Oh, there was always chaos and there was jihad always.
I wonder if he felt like, because his situation was always a little better, you know what I mean? Because he was younger. I wonder if he felt like he was kind of radio flying away.
Yeah, I honestly believe, because a lot of the movie focused on the relationship between the brothers, and I think, you know, he wanted that kind, because me and Junior were, you know what I'm saying? Like he always kind of wanted that. So like, I think that's why the movie was important to him. But yeah, it's actually a pretty sad movie when you really think about it. But
I hate watching stuff with abusive dads. It's like,
yeah, it's just it's terrible, because like I said, I never grew up in that situation. Like my mom and my stepdad got into shit, but I mean, you know my mom, like she's like a, you know what I'm saying, like she was unique, like she you know, she would square up with anybody, you know what I'm saying, like. But yeah, it was just, it's just horrible. So like listening to this song, like you know, it I can imagine like wanting to see. But the thing is, like my older brother, like he would have really did that shit. He would have really, and like I said, my stepfather was cool to me. I mean, the dude literally never put a hand on me once, like my stepdad or my older brother, like never. Even when, like, you know, we got into it and shit, he never even came close to doing that. Mm-hmm. But like, and I'm glad too, because in my crazy days, like right before I went to the hospital, I had weapons and shit under my bed and shit. Mm-hmm. So like, I was like so crazy that I was, because me and him were really getting into it. Because I was really spinning out, and Mom was like at a loss of what to do. But he never put his hands on me, not once. But if he would have, if it would have been like a consistent thing, like I feel like my brother would have done some. Because I've seen my brother like pick up weapons and go after people that, you know. Mm-hmm. But like,
did your mother do persuasion or only control?
it just, my mom was bipolar, so it just depended on what kind of mood she was in. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could be extremely persuasive. She could talk you into anything because she had such a charismatic personality, but when she's on a downswing on bipolar, man, forget it. You know what I'm saying? Like, and like I said, it's different, you know, because, you know, Jamaicans are very corporal in their punishment and shit, but like, with my mom, it was not like punishment. It wasn't even a spanking. It was like literally a beating. Like,
Yeah.
fists and like you know, combinations, all types of shit. Like, you know, it wasn't like, oh, you do this, you're gonna get a spanking. It was just, you know. So, but at the end of the day, like, as I got older, I'm like, there's gonna come a point where this shit is not gonna affect me. Mm-hmm. And I remember like distinctly the time when like she hit me and everything, and I realized that it was just, a lot of this shit was just mental. Like, oh, you know, like, this is happening, I'm getting a spanking or whatever. But a lot of it was just like mental, like the event.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So like, there was one distinct time where she was hitting me, blah blah blah, and I just remember just looking at her like unfazed, like bang, doing all this, and I was just like looking at her like, it was like that moment when Neo found out, like, yo, I'm in the Matrix, like, and it was just one of those things where it's like, you can't hurt me anymore, like, because I've hit puberty. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and I, you know.
Sure that went over well?
No, that's,
I know.
you know.
Yeah.
But, like, if as a dude,
She probably was scared.
As a dude?
Too. Like, scared that she has no control over you. Because persuasion... because from what I've heard, she also, like, maybe was a persuasive person. You're a persuasive person. But I also think that she was also a controlling person. So when she couldn't
100%.
by force get you to comply, and seeing that look in your eyes, she must have been like, what am I going to do?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. She definitely changed after that moment, but it didn't look like fear. It just looked like, oh, okay, we got to do some other shit.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My mom, like...
I would have been, like, I thought she would have been afraid that, like, now how's she going to get you to not do anything crazy?
My mom was not afraid of anything, and she was convinced that she always had a...
No, I mean afraid of something bad happening to you because you wouldn't listen to what she was trying to tell you.
That wasn't the reason I got in trouble. She wasn't worried about shit getting bad for me. It was just...
You annoyed her?
She never got physical with me because she was worried about me. Like...
Oh.
There were other times when she was worried. Like, for example, like, I'd come home past curfew 3 or 4 in the morning in the Bronx, and she'd be up there waiting.
And she had to work in the morning too, right?
Yeah, she had to work in them, but she never put her hands on me in those type of situations because she was genuinely just terrified.
I see.
And she's trying to, like, convince me or whatever, explain shit to me. But the other times, it was just stuff wasn't going good with her and homeboy, you know what I'm saying? And I was a pretty easy target, which is fine. But, like, it must be rough to grow in a situation where it's the dad doing that. Because I remember thinking to myself, like, one of these days I'm going to outgrow this shit. This shit's not going to, like, I'm going to be stronger than her one day. Like, she's a woman. You know what I'm saying? Whereas, like, if it's your dad, like, I can't imagine what that...
And a lot of times, if the dad is abusive to the kids, he also goes after the mom, too.
100%. 100%.
You're not likely to go after somebody like a child and not go after a woman.
That's what was happening in Radio Flyer, too, is that... yeah. Yeah, horrible situation. But, yeah, looking at the lyrics of the song, I'm like, damn. Like, your heart definitely goes out to people in that situation.
Yeah.
He wrote this song when he was 18 years old, subhanAllah.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
He did a really good job. I loved the guitar work in it.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
And then I heard, like, somebody in the comment section was like, oh, basically, like, when they do the descending... They didn't like it, but in the guitar, you know what I mean? I love that stuff.
Yeah, I wonder what, like, goes through the minds of these abusive dudes. Like, I don't know what it is. Is it control? Is it like I you know? Or I'm sure everybody's different, but it was always weird to me. Like, why would you get married and go through the rigmarole of, like, creating a family if you're going to treat them like that?
I don't think people plan to treat people like that.
True.
I think that you just land in situations and, like, I mean, stress does stuff to people. So, you know, like, a lot of those parents that were, you know, they were working all in the mines all day long and stuff like that. And, like, you come home, you're frustrated, you don't have money, you don't have, you know, everything was bad for these people. And they were, I'm just, you know, this is one scenario, but they were abusing those people at work.
It's true.
So if you're getting kicked around by your boss, like, the pecking order, unless you're cognizant of it, the pecking order is real. Mm-hmm. The boss kicks him, he comes home, goes after the wife goes after the kids, the kid goes after the dog. Like, that's what happens. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that people want to have a good life, and they believe that that's what they're going to do, and they believe that they're not going to be as shitty as their parents were, but then when it comes down to it...
Yeah, everybody always says they're not going to be like their parents. Like, I remember, like, the first time I said that, and God said to me, "Oh, you better figure some shit out then, my boy." Because, like, it's inevitably going to happen if you don't actively go after this shit. But a lot of times, like, when you're in those situations, you're always thinking to yourself, like, yo, how am I, like, getting out? That's all you think about. Mm-hmm. You don't think about life after you get out. You don't think about, like, these are the only patterns you know. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like, for me, like, the pecking order thing used to be, my mom used to go after me, and then we go outside and find somebody to have an altercation with. It's the Bronx, New York. It's the Bronx, New York, so you're going to, you know.
You have, like, codes about, like, family, so that's probably why you didn't do the... Although I think there's sometimes you went after your younger brother, right? Or did it not have to do with the pecking order thing?
Well, I would, like, I don't have a problem with, like, if me and my brothers got into some shit and we got into a fight, people bleeding, black eye or whatever, like, to me, that's
That's not the same
that's just
as like
normal
when you
shit.
go after somebody because you're feeling a certain way.
Yeah, when I was in those moods, or when Reef was in those moods, we would just find somebody and they're, which obviously was not the best way to handle it because we were not gangsters. You know what I'm saying? We were not gangbangers, and there are certain things like we didn't want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like there are other people that were like, but when you're in that like 5-second span of like I'm angry or whatever, we got to go do something or whatever. It was all the fallout afterwards that made life a living hell for us. Where it was like, what were we doing?
Yeah.
Why were we thinking about that? But that's how it goes. 9.4 for me.
This is a 9 point. Jeez, I really liked it.
I was about to say you getting high scores today, boy.
Well, I liked both of these songs. Jeez, 9.7. I don't know, 9.75.
Right. What I do know is that there's a commercial break, and we will be right back there, listener. Vin out.
Sori out.
Gone. A7X up next, losers. I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch, DJ Mike is up in the house tonight. The next song on the list, you guys, is Avenged Sevenfold. And it's called Lost It All. That's why my phone out is because I've got everything here. I don't have a computer in front of me, so I'm not disinterested in what we're doing here. I'm actually very interested. So, let's check this out. We haven't had some Avenged Sevenfold in a while.
So Avenged Sevenfold. What's the name of the song?
The way you said okay, I thought there was like some problem. I was like, no.
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Lost It All.
Did you say it was live?
Not this one. This one's a lyric video.
Okay.
We do have a live one, but
Lost
not this
It
one.
All. Okay, let's see. Is that the song?
That sounded exciting.
I know. Hey, Kai in the house!
Actually, I wonder if this would help you.
Let me know if that's actually the song, because
Would it help you if you saw this?
thingamajiggy doesn't tell me what.
I didn't know if seeing this. Oh yeah, you should be able to see that.
Yeah, just hit play. Yeah, but that's just the A7.
Yeah, I know,
logo.
but I saw it on
Just
the thing.
just play it the first 2 seconds, just so I can hear.
Oh.
Is the volume on? Come on. Yeah, that's it. Okay, that's all I need. All right, guys, here we go. A7X. What's the name of the song?
I hate it when I can't figure out what's going on until after. The name of the song is called Lost It All.
All right, Lost It All, A7X. You guys know what it is. Vin and Sori, A7X, Applejack. Let's do it.
Run away,
That was Avenged Sevenfold. The name of that song
Lost It All.
is Lost It All. That I looked at the date. That was 2010 when that came out. Remember, this is the band that had the friend die on him.
Yeah.
The Rev was his name. So
yeah, but somebody said in the comment section that it was before he died.
Before the Rev died.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I don't know anything about it. Because they said he was on the demo or something like that.
Yeah. He died in 2009. The song came out in 2010.
Oh.
Well, he died in December of 2009. And the song came out in 2010. So
it could be.
It must have been written when he was alive. But remember, he was dying. Like, he had received basically like a terminal diagnosis that he was going to die. Anyway, so...
What was the problem?
He had something going on with his heart. Some condition going on with his heart.
No kidding. They couldn't fix that? They couldn't give him another one?
No, it was...
Jesus.
It was like... I mean, heart transplants are pretty rare. I mean, it's not like there's like a bank of hearts where you can just... You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I just would think that somebody with his...
Well, somebody would have
he's
to...
in... You know how many people probably love that band? And, like, if you loved that band and then you got in a car crash and I could donate your organs to save one of the band members, like, you would want that?
He had an enlarged heart. I mean, I'm sure they would want it. I just don't think that there's anything they could have done for him. But
wow. Okay.
It looked like... I mean, it was kind of looming over everybody's head.
Such a horrible
This
feeling.
is kind of like what Amy makes fun of me. Like, anytime Amy Lee says something tragic, I'm like, oh, she's talking about her sister.
Oh, yeah.
She's like, that's not always the case, you moron. So, or like the Tool fans, I'm like, oh, he's talking about his mom.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I remember
like,
back in the day, people would start getting
every time I see this band and they're saying anything sad, I'm like, oh, it's because of the Rev. What was the name of the song again?
The name of the song is Lost It All.
Let's look at these lyrics.
But I guess, to me, I don't think it's about that.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you think it's about?
Maybe...
I ruled the world with these hands. I shook the heavens to the ground. I held the key to the kingdom, lions guarding castle walls. Hail to the king of death. Then I lost it all. Dead and broken, my back's against a wall. Cut me open. I am just trying to breathe, trying to figure it out. Because I built these walls to watch them crumble down. Then I lost it all. Who can save me now?
Jeez, I don't know.
I stood above another war, another jewel above the crown. I was the fear of man, but I was blind. I couldn't see the world right there in front of me, but now I can because I lost it all. Dead and broken, my back's against the wall. Just trying to breathe, just trying to figure it out.
Damn.
Is that the...
I think I'm going to have to change it.
What's the song?
What? What do you mean?
Lost It All. I feel like... Did we do the right song?
Yeah, we did.
Vin, I think you have the... Hey! Petrifying the Patriarchy.
What's up? You have the wrong lyrics? I wasn't reading the lyrics you read.
I had the wrong lyrics on the one that I was looking at. Go ahead.
Run away, I'm living with a hole inside, a piece of me that I have yet to find. Edge of reason, lines uneven, turn me off, feel the blood so cold. Like a product that was bought and sold, asking me for the impossible. I ain't waiting for a miracle, I ain't waiting for the world to change. Under my skin lives the reason. Under my armor, I lost it all. So when it was at this point, I thought this was a person that was like... They're at the end, and you get to the point... Like, I think that when people get... I wouldn't say... I'm not saying that it's the same for everybody. But I think that once you're at the point where, like, you want to die, or, like, suicide seems like an option, like, you're really far down the thing, and you've got to turn that shit around. And, you know, sometimes it's something as small as saying, I'm not going to engage in the thoughts of what that would be like to kill myself, or what it would be like to be on the other, because some people assume that there's going to be peace for them on the other side.
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I said, how do you know, because they were weighing that option, and I said, well, how do you know that that it's gonna be better over there?
Right.
You know, like,
right.
That's a...
And it's like you said in that song before, like, that at this, like, in this life, it's like we have the option to change our minds, but maybe in the next place you can't. Maybe in the next place you only see what could have been. Like, maybe you have your mind about you and you know, oh my gosh, if I whatever.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is like some of these are like universal existential crises, like when he talks about, he's got a hole inside of his, and it sounds corny, but people always talk about like the God-shaped hole. People, hey, Sadie in the house. People talk about folks having a God-shaped hole, and it's it's fascinating to me, like, because when you do the work that we do, you get to watch and listen to so many people, because you're not doing a conventional job, and a lot of what we do is on YouTube, and so like I'm always listening to somebody, and it's like I'm like the zeitgeist right now. It's like people are looking for something like bigger than just the physical world that we're in. Like almost every, like the Sean Ryan show. He's the guy's a former Navy SEAL, and he's interviewing all these, and it's like, oh, that's a military channel. So like I know I've got like 5 channels I follow. If I want to, reminisce or whatever, I just listen to those. I just hang out with those guys for a couple hours or whatever. Actually, I had somebody reach out to me, wanted me to go on one of those shows. I was like,
seriously?
Yeah, I was like, I ain't doing that shit, bro. What you on? But it's crazy because now he's getting into the UFO shit. He's now getting into UFO shit. Now, just got done listening to guy was Fort Bragg, so I'm assuming he was either Ranger or CAG, but like they were talking about this giant monolithic slab. It's a monolith is basically this giant sort of just brick, basically. Just imagine like a 5-ton brick that's...
Yeah, I got you.
And it was 12 inches off the ground. Red, it was 12 inches off the ground, like floating, hovering. And then, like we have got this like anti-gravity technology, whatever. This is
we did that?
Yeah, he went down, saw it with his own eyes. He testified in Congress a couple days ago. He just now released his identity because Congress released a law that says that if you were part of these secret programs or whatever, you get amnesty for the next 6 months. So you can come out in the next 6 months. What? Nobody will touch you. Yeah. But my point is, like,
that's weird.
You usually have the paranormal stuff over here, the military channel over here, the politics channel over here. Mm-hmm. If you look at Rising or Breaking Points, they're both talking about UFOs. Yeah. And it's like, on the one hand, like, I get it. There's, like, just a regular curiosity. But I really, truly believe, like, people are at the point now where they're like, yo, we need something other than just what we've been seeing over and over again. People are looking for something bigger. And it's very fascinating to me because I'm like, what if these beings touch down? Like, they have, like, it's strange. Like, people have this automatic credibility for these beings. Like, I was just watching one, and the guy said, where are you from? And the being said, Zeta Reticuli. They're always saying they're from Zeta Reticuli or whatever.
Really?
Yeah, Zeta Reticuli is a star system that's pretty close to us. But, I mean, close is a relative term if you're, whatever. But my point is, I just think that, especially in the secular world, folks are really, like, feeling that hole, that God-shaped hole, like the need for transcendence. Like, everybody knows there's got to be something more. And, like, on the one hand, you can be cynical and say... But like, this is the thing where I said, like, okay, let me get this straight. Because people go, oh, you're just saying that because you want to add some significance to your life or whatever. Like, you want to... But why?
Yeah.
What evolutionary...
Everybody's asking the same questions.
What evolutionary benefit is there to people being dissatisfied with a material life? Like, if materialism is all that there is, and there is no God, okay, fine. That means material is all that there is. We got consciousness, life out of dead material, okay. You want to believe that? That's cool. But, like, why is it then that if that is if chaos is God at the end of the day, and randomness and purposelessness is the ultimate reality and the ultimate truth, then where is the evolutionary benefit of creating an imaginary reality and all the rest of it? Like, to me, that it just doesn't promote the strengthening of our gene pool.
Right.
Especially when my atheist friends talk about religion, they almost universally talk about it as a negative blight on humanity. So it's like, why did we come up with it then? It's like, oh, well, you want to believe that you're more significant than you. Why? Why would you want to believe that? I can understand why a person would want to believe that if you actually have a soul or things like that. But I mean, you got stop. Hey, roll that way. What they're saying is that your brain, you're basically a slave of your brain. You know, your brain makes all these decisions or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
it's just crazy. It's just crazy to me. But like, your brain makes all these decisions, so like, you don't even have a desire that's not programmed into your brain. You know, it's the same Harris. It's like you don't have free will. None of you have free will. The entire exercise of life is to figure out why you make the choices you make. Not that you actually have a free will to make choices. So it's like, where would this even come from? And why didn't nature just select it out? Because
he said the purpose of life is to figure out why you make the decisions you make.
Not to figure out, not to assume that you have free will, but the purpose is just to figure. It's kind of like the Matrix when, you know, he visited the Oracle and she said, you know, that cookie's burnt or whatever, and
You're
then
gonna drop that vase or something.
And then she goes, how did you know that? And then she says something to the effect of,
what's really gonna freak you out is how. That part?
What's going to freak you out is you know, it wasn't going to end up any other way. Your job is just to figure out why you chose that.
Would you have bumped the vase if I hadn't have said that?
Right. And so, like, that's the point of the story. Like, that's why that interaction was so powerful. So it's like, okay, but in the Matrix, there was a world outside of that world.
Exactly.
So, like, that's the thing that's crazy to me is, like, the Matrix has such a, like, it was such a cultural moment.
Man.
Yes, because of the tech, but also because it was the best modern adaptation of philosophy.
Yeah.
You know, because there's a lot of times, like, there's so many books that start in my head, I'm like, because it's too explicit. You know what I'm saying? Like, when he says there is no spoon, for example, like, and, you know, he's talking to this Buddhist kid, like, and the kid is dressed clearly like a Buddhist monk, like, it's like, yo, they're obviously trying to inculcate you with some Buddhist ideology. Right. Because in Buddha, there's a lot Buddhism that, you know, life is illusory and all the rest of it. So it's just very, like, I haven't seen any of my atheist friends answer that question. Because it seems to be just like a pat answer, like, oh, you just don't want to believe that there's nothing. But why would I want to believe that? Yep. And how does that serve natural selection? Right. And especially the way you guys talk about religion, it's almost a complete negative to everything, to our you know, to the way we communicate with each other, to science. Oh, you're holding back science. Religious people hold back science. Blah blah. It's like, okay, then why are the vast majority of the people in the world holding to this belief? Why didn't nature already select that out years and years ago? Like, that question is not really being dealt with, and I think that's an important question to ask.
100%.
Because, like, it's the same thing with, like, the desire for order that we have. Why? If chaos is God, why do we have a desire for order? Right. Where did that come from? Right. So, like...
And why, like, because, you know, not everybody likes Jordan Peterson, but he said, like, if you're just consumed by depression and you can't get up and do anything, like, start by making your bed. And I think that concept is just, like, bring some order to your surroundings. Like, your bed is something that you're going to use, especially if you're depressed. So, like, bring some order to it.
No, I agree. I think Kurt Jaimungal said something about Jordan Peterson that I really agree with. And he said he didn't want to be like Jordan Peterson. And Kurt Jaimungal is the most genuine person on the internet. So I was like, holy shit. And he basically said once he got hooked up with the right wing, he now has a fiduciary incentive to be and say inflammatory things. Oh. And it's made, and it has made him a very bitter man. You know, because he ended up in the culture war, and he's a different guy.
Yeah, I don't put it to that though. I think he changed. Like, there was I don't watch a ton of his stuff, so you tell me what you think. But there was a point in time where, you know how you sit, like, there's this verse that says, look, today if you hear God's voice, don't harden your heart like they did. Don't do that. And to me, he came to a point where it looked like, whoa, like he was being face to face with truth, and he wasn't sure what he was going to do, and he was talking about it too. And then he got to a point where he didn't want people asking him that question. And then he seemed to me, his face looked more miserable each time I saw him. I don't like his modern stuff. I like to look at his older videos.
Yeah, his modern stuff. I mean, he just got
he
himself.
Just really looks like
he's completely entrenched in the culture war, man. And
Yeah.
he's like, he didn't understand. Like, that wasn't his role, dude. Like, what people needed was a father figure, and he accomplished that in his first year. And then he got scooped up by Ben Shapiro. And then, it's a good move on Ben Shapiro's part. But now he's got millions of dollars of incentive
that's
to
too
be
bad.
influenced, because he's up.
That's
I mean,
too
think
bad.
about it. Think about the Daily Wire. It's Shapiro, who generally 10 years ago, Shapiro used to say a bunch of crazy shit, but he understands he's like the leader now, and so he doesn't. He tries to stay balanced. But Matt Walsh, I mean, you know what Matt Walsh is. Then he had Michael Knowles, the other guy up there, saying all crazy shit, and so like that's the crew you're in now, dude. Like,
Yeah.
and so if you're, that's one of the big reasons. Like, I would never join a gang. Is because
Yeah.
like now you're with these people, you got to go with
You
them.
got to do it.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, it's very convenient because like dudes don't want to mess with you because you're in a gang, but at the same time,
Right.
dudes are gonna want to mess with you because you're in a gang.
Right. Yeah.
So like, yeah, but yeah, I definitely believe that there's definitely a giant hole in the zeitgeist right now, where everybody's looking for something that's beyond just this regular physical plane.
Yeah.
And I do not think that the internet atheist thing had its run. You know, the Dawkins and the Four Horsemen, when, regular, kids our age discovered Sam Harris and all the rest of it and all that. But like, it's not, it's a negation. I don't believe this. It's not a positive belief in anything. So like, all you're left with is a negation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
it's like when the boss says, "You're just bringing me the problems, bring me the solution."
yeah. And Mike is saying it's how he felt after losing the Rev, which makes sense. But again, Rev was alive when they initially wrote this song. But
if you
obviously,
said he was on-
obviously, I mean, the death was hanging over their
And
everybody's
it
head.
says-
Obviously,
He said,
Sure.
"I ain't waiting for a miracle. I ain't waiting for the world to change. Under my skin lives the reason. Under my armor, I lost it all." And then he said, "There's something in your eyes, a part of me that I recognize.
Mm-hmm.
I want to let you know we'd be there if we could, and it's all right.
You
You taught me how to
feel.
feel. It's no wonder I'd do anything. Tell me why you have to go with the worst to come." See, with the worst to come, that to me is like having to live without the person. Like, my uncle had gotten cancer,
Yeah.
and it took a while for him to. Well, I say a while. I mean, it was less than a year, but that. It was like hell, like just watching him just get worse and worse and worse. And like you just knew that this eventuality was going to happen. And then with the worst to come, like I remember one of his kids saying, she said it pretty rough, but she wanted him to just die already,
yeah.
is what she said. But it was because it was so hard to just watch him suffer for so long. And but then once he had passed away, then it was like you just want your dad back. You don't want him to have died. So you know what I mean? Like when he says the worst is yet to come.
So lost the best I know, or whatever. The worst is yet to come, and lost the best I know, or something like that.
Lost the best I know. Yeah, to me that, and it could be that they started this song because the beginning of the song, it doesn't necessarily mean like.
Well,
that,
songs take a long time to write.
Yeah.
You very rarely write everything in one
And
city.
it could have been one song that was started and then finished after he passed. Because there's multiple verses.
It's one of the worst things in the world, man. When,
that's
when
interesting.
Young men or just young people lose somebody like that.
Yeah.
It's just the worst. It's just bad. I remember the very first time Matthew Bandu, I'll never forget it. And he died, and I was like fucked up for such a long time over that. And I didn't even know, dude. Like, he wasn't part of our crew. Like,
Right.
he wasn't. But it was just the
But he was
first
just
time.
a nice person too, right?
He was the best. He was the best one among all of us, for sure. Like, I remember thinking, like, if anybody deserved to die, like, he's literally the last fucking person.
And wasn't he the one that ran upstairs to save that
Yeah, he
girl?
ran upstairs
so
to
it's
help out Michelle.
Even more.
I used to talk to that girl, and then after that happened, like, I never talked to her again.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I couldn't talk to her after that. I don't know if I blamed her. I don't know if but yeah, we used to flirt around and shit. But after he died, in those circumstances, like, she became like a really completely different person too.
Oh God.
But I mean, unfortunately, that whole situation was really just prep for a lot of losses, obviously. So. Red. So that was like, it's tough. But you know, I'm glad that I never had a situation where I had a young friend where like we knew he was gonna die, like get a terminal.
Oh my word.
That's just horrible. It's just such a cruel joke too, because it's like you guys dreamed about this as kids and now you made it, and now here's this situation. Like, that's a tough pill to swallow, man, for these people, you know. And they've written, I don't know how many times, like this guy's ghost has been in their lyrics and their songs, you know. But yeah, man, it's tough. It's really, really tough for young people to have to go through that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like sometimes I hear people, oh, like to be young again, blah blah blah. Like, I would never want to do that. I'd never want to do that. I'd never want to like relive all this shit. It's crazy, like talking with certain members of my family, like this person's dead, this person's dead, this person's dead, this person's dead.
Nuts.
Like, it just, you know, it's like, damn, like I've had a lot of loss. Like I feel like cursed. You know what I'm saying? Like shit, man, that's a lot of people.
It's a lot. It's a lot. I've never even known anybody like this. It's unheard of.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, some of the shit, you know, some of those situations you put yourself in on purpose, you know, like you knew, like, okay, like, I don't know, but I'd hate to have young people carry that burden. If you sign up for something and like you put yourself in a dangerous situation, you don't make it home, like, it's the best way to die. You know what I'm saying? Like you know, that's how everybody, you know. But like when you're a young kid and you're going to school or you're starting a band, like that shit is, that's tough. That's tough to deal with. That's really tough to deal with. But you know, that's why you got to be thankful for everybody that you're around, you know, because you never know. You never know. But it's a tough song. The chorus is crazy though.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I another one that oh yeah, I just had to say this part too. After he says that he's not waiting for a miracle, he says, no more faith, no savior made of our designs. Fooled me before, I tell you, not this time. Mm-hmm. So like, another day living irrational, another day inside this dying soul. And I think that, you know, when that's another sign that, you know, people are not in a good spot and they really need to focus on getting themselves better, is when you start doing reckless stuff. And it can start out small. It can be like not wearing your seatbelt. But like, what's the reason? Are you not wearing your seatbelt because you genuinely forgot, or are you not wearing it because you don't care? And you're like, well, if I get crashed, I'll fly a little further. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's decisions, like, you start making those over and over, and you just start losing yourself.
I got sat down one time.
Because you're being too reckless?
Yeah. People are like, yo, you're trying to...
Yeah, what are you trying to do here?
Yeah. So I got benched, which was pretty difficult.
I bet. How long do you get benched for?
2 trips.
Oh man.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, good for them.
That's why when, you know, when my mom died, like, I called whoever and they're like, yep, stay where you are. Because I was literally like had my bag in my hand, like on the way to the airport when I, you know, heard about my mom, and they're like, nope.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's, you know, it's you hear guys, like, when they're not doing well, they talk about, like, people start to, you know, it's like they say about, like, the football player or whatever starts talking about retirement. Mm-hmm. If they're talking about it, like, it's over with. You see what I'm saying? Like, Brady started talking about, like, yeah, like, I'm seeing the end of my career, blah, 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 blah. Like, that means they're done. You see what I'm saying? So, like, when you hear dudes start talking about, oh, I want to die in battle, blah, 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 I want to, you know, like... Thankfully, I had very wise people who were watching over me. You know, I was a baby. I was like 10 years younger than everybody else. So Yeah. So, yeah, it's tough, man. It's tough when you're young. It's tough when you're young and that shit happens to you, man. It's really terrible. But I really love how this band, like, how explicit they are with expressing the love they have for their brother.
Yeah.
Like, I really appreciate that about them. Like, it's been like 5, 6, there's probably 10, 15 songs in their catalog where he's there and they're singing about him. Like, I like that about metal. You know, in hip-hop, you get one song for your dead homie. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll write one song for your dead homie. And, like, I understand that because, like, you don't really get a break in rap. Like, you've got to continually speak, whereas in metal, you can kind of let the instrument do the speaking for you. But I really appreciated metal. Like, same thing with Maynard. Maynard did, like, multiple songs about his mom.
Yeah.
You know, like,
I mean,
that doesn't really happen in hip-hop. It's almost like in rap, we're, like, afraid to really dig into those feelings. Like, okay, we did it once, boom, like, that's it.
Is it... I'm afraid this is going to sound like a racist comment. I mean, in rap, they're generally more in the streets where there'd be more deaths, right?
Yeah.
So it's like you had one homie that died in metal, and so like that's you're gonna feel that from,
true.
You know what I mean. But the other ones, it's like there's a lot of them. We can't be making 6 songs for everybody.
It's true. Yeah, it's true. Like, yeah, it's very, very true. Like, I got pages and pages of dead people, man. That's fucking crazy. But yeah, it's a good song though. It's a good song.
What do you give it?
9.2.
I'm giving this one a 3.
A 3?
No, I'm just kidding. Somebody was like, I can guarantee you Sori's gonna get this in a high score.
That was Ian. Wow, Sori's canceled.
No, this one's a 9 for me.
All right. Like, share, comment, subscribe, you beautiful people. If you want to get notifications, we are going to be doing a lot more frequent streams, dear listeners. So if you want notifications of it, YouTube has us a little bit shadow banned, but that's okay. But do your best. If you can hear us, we'd like to hear you. Okay.
Alrighty,
here we go, guys.
back.
We're coming right back. A commercial break. Back. I'm Ben.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Ben and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listening. Where can they go to buy the merch? Is it under the thing? If you go under the thing on our YouTube channel, it'll tell you.
Well, it's also in the description of every video.
The hoodies and the shirts. Send us a thingamajig, and we'll feature you on the channel. Okay, here we go.
All right, we have
Avenged
DJ
Sevenfold.
Mike, I don't know where our banner went, but here in the corner, you'll see he's been since 2021. That's not when he was born. That's when he first started streaming with us. Up next on his list is a song by a band you may know. Avenged Sevenfold again. The name of the song is called Acid Rain. Yeah. I used to make soap while you're pulling this up. And, like, I thought it was so amazing, like, trying to make everything as natural as I could. And so I decided I was going to put a bucket outside to collect rainwater to make the soap. Turns out there's this big acid rain situation, and so you can't use rainwater. Maybe it was, I don't know. That's what it said. I was pretty disappointed.
What is acid rain? Is it like
I heard that there's like
or
so much crap in our environment that the rain brings it down to the ground, and so it's like in the water.
Jesus.
But I don't remember what it was, but yeah, they were like, you can't. I don't think that it's necessarily like, wow, what do I know? I was going to say, I don't think it's toxic to the degree that they were making it sound like. Peter! Hi!
I knew you were going to freak out as soon as you saw that.
Oh my word! How
Shout out
are
to
you?
Peter Samuelson, gang shit. Alright, here we go. A7X, Acid Rain. Get your umbrellas, I guess, dear listener. Here we are. Let's do it. That is the wrong song.
Oh, it is? You want me to pull it up like we did before?
No, it's this computer guys, so there's a lot of cannot tell you how annoyed I am. Alright, here we go. Acid Rain, Avenged Sevenfold, let's do it. That was just a little hint from a band called Warning for you guys. Just a little of that. There you go.
Oh, I like the sound of this song.
There's no death, no end of time.
love you.
I love you too.
Wow.
You want a kiss? All right, come on. I'll give you a kiss, inshallah. Come on.
Wow. What?
Careful,
That is such a beautiful song. That is such a beautiful song. It's emotional.
I love you.
But your face hurt my ear. It's hurting inside my ear.
Okay, thank you. Now go back to the bed.
Oh, how do that?
Huh?
Can you actually do another song? I love your songs.
I'm going to do another song. Don't worry.
Boy. Oh my gosh. Okay, DJ Mike, I don't know if you heard that, but...
No, we're good.
Yeah, no, I'm saying what Orion just said.
Oh.
So these headphones you can like hear when it goes out. So Orion said, "I love your songs." He wants more of them.
Oh yeah, he's an A7X fan. For sure.
I want you to like some of them. I don't want you to say I'm not gonna get any more because he did too much.
No, we have more. There will be more songs, but I need you to go on the bed and be quiet so we can keep doing this. Watch your show.
Okay.
All right.
You guys are on red, remember.
Okay. The chorus was super emotional, but it was so beautiful. The song was so beautiful. Children still play in the garden, dance as the sun slips away. After verse 1, our day has come, it's drawn in the sky, so don't shed a tear now. Be thankful for the time. Life wouldn't be so precious, dear, if there never was an end. And then he says, children still play in the garden, dance as the sun slips away. That to me was hope. So like, stuff is ending, but that's hope, because any society that has no children is a hopeless society. And so he's saying that there's children, but there's also a garden. And a garden is also like land stripped of everything. They don't have gardens. So the fact that children are still there and children are playing in the garden means that there's still hope, even though their day has come and that there's an end. Something is ending, but there's still...
I'm doing a series on secularism in Middle America. And it's very fascinating to me how inundated with the Christian religion that the Western world is. So that he could say children still play in the garden, and we know immediately that's some form of an Edenic reference. Whether or not you're completely familiar with the story, like that's where the mind goes. And I just think that's it's such a powerful metaphor. And it looks like a young person trying to come up with a philosophy to deal with, the impending loss of his friend, obviously. We just talked about that in the previous song. But, like, that whole argument, like, if life would not be as precious if it didn't have a stop point, is a direct answer to, if there's no God, how do you avoid nihilism? And the response to that is to say, Reza, sit down. Okay, both of you get under the covers now. No more jumping around. Get under the covers and watch the show. Okay? So that's kind of that response. Like, if there's no God, then your life is meaningless, And what they're saying is, yeah, but the fact that life has an expiration date means that I have to live, as much as I can because I'm going to die. Whereas your perspective actually says nothing really matters because I'm going to see you again anyway, blah, blah, blah. So that line is an answer to that argument, which is fascinating because it was stacked right on top of children still play in the garden. So there's like this secular sort of, here's an answer to that thing, but at the same time it's like still reverting back to what you talked about relative to hope and things of that nature, because look, there's really no hope in secularism. The sky is empty. Like, these relationships that you have that are massively significant, like, they're gone. But on the other hand, it's like the response is, yeah, but there's no objective difference between you and a twig in that worldview.
Yeah.
Other than the meaning we choose to pour into those moments. So it's like, we choose, these things. We choose morality, we choose significance. You know, we make it important to us. But then it's like, yeah, but that whole thing is a fiction then. Like, I believe that there are actually laws of God that are, like, objectively real laws.
Yeah.
But if you say the sky is empty, there are no laws.
Yeah.
If you say that the sky is empty, then human beings don't have any particular unique dignity or reason for being.
Yeah.
But the response is, yeah, but you make those. We make those things ourselves. It's like, okay,
yeah, but
fine.
why did we make them?
Which I asked in the previous
Right.
one. But then the next question is, yeah, but why? It's a fiction, though. You're saying, I know objectively there's no real value between you and this ant, but I'm going. This fiction has been working for us, that there's some sort of differentiation in human beings, and it carries some utility for what I'm trying to accomplish. So we're going to go along with it. But at the end of the day, it's a fiction.
Right. Yeah.
So, but the problem is that they forget that it's a fiction.
Right.
So, like, they operate as if they have rights and things like that. It's like,
right.
no. Rights are
right
a fiction.
And things are wrong.
Well, you just poured that. You want to pour that. But what if I disagree with that?
Yeah.
What if I say only my life is important?
Right.
And I don't care about your life.
Right.
You say, well, then we'll take you to prison or we'll quarantine you. That's fine. But what if it's a guy like Genghis Khan?
Right.
You can't put him in. It's not necessarily an argument as much as to me it's a method of trying to deal with what they perceive reality to be, because they were raised in postmodern secularism. So it's like we're not even allowed to act like there's a God, especially in tragedy, because then people are gonna, you're not a real. You see what I'm saying? And I believe that a lot of young people have just been completely. It's just like with Christian fundamentalism, where it's like you didn't understand that there were other ways of looking at certain theological principles because it's the same way with secularists. Like a lot of them are raised with just, this is a singular understanding, this is how it is, and a lot of them are secular fundamentalists. But then like it comes into conflict with your natural human emotion of, he's got this relationship with this dude, it's his best friend, and when you have that kind of relationship with somebody that's so powerful, it's very difficult to say, yeah, but I mean, at the end of the day, they're an insignificant, accident that just happened to you're a dot in the 14.6 billion year timeline. You're not really, it's not really significant. You're never going to see him again. He turned into dust and that's it. Like, that's a really cruel worldview to give somebody.
Yeah.
And so he says that, and then he talks about the children still playing in the garden. So to me, and it's just, it's the same thing in the previous song where he said, I'm not going to let you fool me again, which to me, he was specifically talking about saviors.
Yeah.
And he actually said, no more saviors of our own making.
Yeah.
So again, like,
so
it's fascinating. Like, he's looking at the story, the Christian story, as like something we made up. But then in this song, it's like, okay, well, if we made up the Christian story, then your friend is not valuable either. Your friend being a valuable, significant person is also just made up, and he's also just, your friend is just as insignificant as a Jesus story is, if what you're saying is right. Because what you're saying is, that's a fiction that you choose to believe to get you through life. It's like, great, but the value of your friend now is also a fiction that you choose to believe, because your friend really ultimately wasn't valuable. From this worldview, I mean, to us, he's infinitely valuable.
Yeah.
And to us, I understand why you're going to make songs about him till the day you die and all the rest of it. Because we're not just accidents. We're not just random atoms. And our consciousness is not generated by our brains. Like, I don't want to laugh at that, but like, the idea is so crazy to me. I got mad love for like one of my homies, and he's like, because he couldn't answer the consciousness question. He says, it evolved from humans. It's like, yeah, but from your view, humans are just matter. So again, how did the consciousness emerge from the matter? Like, there's real stuff now where you can get rid of this belief system that every significant value you hold is ultimately a fiction.
Yeah.
Morality is fictional, love is fictional, all these things are just fictional. They're delusions that everybody's like mutually agreeing upon that for whatever reason I don't ultimately know, but here we are. Like, I don't know. When I listen to music and things like that, I don't see how that works.
Oh, I agree.
There's obviously something else going on.
I agree, and it's like, if you look at major events in people's lives, your birth, somebody's born, and like you see that experience and you see that little human and stuff, and to be like, oh, that's completely valueless. That's no different than the ant over there or whatever. It's like, come on, that's crazy. And nobody would even like if your worldview falls apart in certain situations, like, you can't go to somebody that just had a child and say, that's a meaningless being, but I'm glad that you had them. Like, we can say that child is made in the image and likeness of God and has infinite value. Like, the stuff that works out in real life, or like a funeral. Who's going to go to a funeral and be like, yeah, that person was so meaningless?
If we were walking through a store and a kid said,
those feelings are just firing off.
And the kid said, Dad, tell me the truth. Do I really mean anything? And you ever heard the father saying, well, son, to me you're important, but that's just a fiction I made up that I evolved evolutionarily so that I could take care of you, so that we could propagate the gene pool. But other than that, no. I mean, you don't really have any objective value of yourself.
Ridiculous.
And the kid asked the next question, then why did you even evolve to create this fiction to keep me alive if I'm not significant in the first place? Mm-hmm. Like, a lot of this shit really doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't really make a lot of sense. Like, there's like this big atheist dude. Like, he's a big dude. Me and him are like tight. And I'm like, let's talk about the relationship between, quantum entanglement and consciousness and what that means about the world we're in and the death of local realism. Let's have a conversation. He didn't want any part of it. He's like, I'm not really good at philosophy of mind stuff, blah, 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 blah. But it's because he now is, I'm not going to say who he is, but he's like scrambling to try to figure out how to keep his, because he's a scientific dude. Like, he knows his shit. So, like, he understands how significant, like, everybody I know that understands the implications of what happened last year relative to quantum entanglement is literally, like, emotionally in a bad state, like, across the board.
I bet.
And it's like,
I bet.
It's very fascinating to, like, watch that struggle. Because I'm like, it's just a really, really fascinating thing to watch. He's like, I'll probably talk to you, we'll probably jump on and do something in like a year or two, because he really has to figure it out. And it's going to take a while for this shit to be downstream.
Yeah, good for him
people
to say
like,
a year or two. Like,
but yeah, like him, Kurt Jaimungal. Like, Kurt Jaimungal started out as an atheist, but then as he did the shows, like, he's like obviously something else now. Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I love the honesty in this band, because it's not all God sucks. There's no nihilistic nonsense. Like, it's like, hey, I can account for significance of this relationship. I'm not going to throw that away, and I can say that if there's no life after death, then it makes the time here more significant, in one sense. And he doesn't have to ask the next question, which is fine. But then the next thing he does is he talks about there's still children in the garden, which I think he's talking about himself and his friends, in the sense that there's still that part of you that was innocent, that started loving music in the first place. Because they all met each other as kids. They all knew each other as kids. So like, he's lost that childlike innocence in one sense. He's had to grow up in a secular world. But on the other side, like, he's still saying there's a part of me that's, when I met you, dude, like, we were in a garden. And it's crazy, too, because, like, when I think about, like, some of the people I've lost, man, like, it's like that. Like, I remember, like, a couple weeks ago, I was driving, like, I used to play baseball right here with, and, like, they're both gone, man. It's like, and that was the best summer of my life.
I know, yeah.
With those people. So, like, that's how the line affected me. Like, I'm talking about time and things like that, but there's a sense in which, like, right now, we're on the street playing baseball. Because, like, if you just look at the timeline or whatnot, like, I'm still out there with them boys, you know. We're still, like, arguing over a strike zone or whatever. Shit that we thought was significant. And now they're both gone, you know. That's just that's crazy to me. That's absolutely crazy to me. Dude had a kid and yeah, it was a deep song.
Yeah.
That was a deep song.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
The silent count for me. 2 of the
It's a
band
10.
members'
It's a 10 for me.
wives were twins and their childhood sweethearts. I mean, this band, like, when people say, like, oh, we're family, like, I mean, they were literally family. They've been with each other since day one.
Yeah.
Man, that's tough. That's tough. It's a silent count for me. Would you give it?
I gave it a 10.
All right, Acid Rain, everybody. We're coming right back to you with another commercial. I'm Ben.
I'm sorry.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at itsori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord,
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
and they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Ben and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch, indeed. A child shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Okay, you
not
guys,
too long
DJ
ago in
Mike.
Western history, children's value depended on whether or not his parents were married. That's still like that, bro, for real. DJ Mike in the house.
All right, you guys. Up next is a band called The Warning. This is the live video.
Yeah. Is it?
Dust to Dust is the name of the song, and we're about to check this. Oh, we've got 2 songs by that band back to back, so we're gonna get more of a feel for them. So that's pretty cool.
Okay, so I have the wrong video for that one.
Do you need me to send you something?
Dust to Dust.
That was the one I had trouble downloading.
Warning live, you said?
But, yeah, it's this one. See, he's got. I literally tried to.
It's Mike. It says Mike Franco on it.
Yeah, I know. I tried to download it multiple times, but he sent me a new link. So,
Where is he?
Dust to Dust, The Warning.
Alright, just send me the link.
Okay.
There he is. There's Mike Franco. Okay, so it should be like the most recent one, right?
Yeah, because he
Hails
just
the
put
King, Unholy Confessions.
Wow,
Warning.
he's
he's
got a
pretty
lot of stuff.
prolific.
You guys, check out Mike Franco's at Mike Franco 251.
See, I don't see Dust to Dust in here though. Are you sure it was his video? Oh, he's got it unlisted. That's what's going on.
Okay, so how do you want me to send you this link? What's the
Mike,
best way to do it?
Mike, make that song live for a second so I can just get the link and download it.
Right.
Or text it to me.
It's not going to get it over there, though.
you just text it to Selah, right?
My thing's not working. Remember I told you?
Okay. I have it on listed. I'll change it right now. Okay.
All right, cool. Cool. In the meantime...
Let me... Just long enough for us to download it. I know how crazy YouTube is with their nonsense. Their nonsense. Shout out to Ed Mank. Rest in peace to the homie.
All right. So he's going to be bringing that up. In the meantime, you guys will just do a random Ask Me Anything. Let's just keep this stream hopping.
Yeah, like... Okay, it's public. Good. All right, let
go.
me just reload it. Yeah, but if you guys can get a question in, we'll answer it. We'll answer it in time.
I'm pulling it up right now. The live stream in the comment section. Okay. Dwayne, leave him alone. He's doing good considering all the all the landmines I've left for him.
Who are you talking about?
He said, "Has Vin ever had the video right tonight?" But
I had like 2 or 3 videos right tonight.
So
everybody's computer settings are so weird. Like they set a setting where you can't see the things that the title of the songs you download. This doesn't make any sense to me, but it is what it is.
It's weird.
It is what it is.
So Mike says The Warning is a band of 3 sisters from Mexico.
Okay.
That's cute. The 3 sisters went into the band together. I like that.
Okay. Put the thing on the link on Facebook.
Oh, I'm gonna put it right in the chat.
Okay, put it in the chat. That'd be good.
There you go. It's in the chat. It's already up.
Because I can't find it on this thing.
I'm surprised it let me put that though.
Why would you be surprised?
I thought we couldn't, but no. I'm probably an admin or something.
Huh?
You don't even see it though.
I don't see it. Where is it? I have to go online and get it.
Are you guys seeing it?
Technology.
Okay, math question from Ian. 2 + 2 equals 4.
There it is. Just 2
All
minutes
right.
ago. There it is. All right, now I got it.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Do not hide it yet, Mike.
Yeah,
Let me
hold up. We'll
let
let
me
you
get
know
it
when.
downloaded, and then we can put it back to what do you call it?
Kai says, having an illegitimate child became a sin, crime, a personal misfortune. In the pagan times, families were matrilineal, and children weren't
made a problem. The child always had a family and ancestry. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's definitely a better way to do it, for sure, than the way that we did it, for sure.
Ian's proud of us for getting it right.
I appreciate that, Ian. All right, we actually do have it. We have it right, and we have it right here, and it is live.
Stranded
bitches.
on a desert island, would you rather want a copy of Vin's music playlist or one of your kids' music playlists?
Yeah, this is interesting.
Shoot. When you said kids, I thought of like my 2 smallest ones, but
No,
all
I
of
do
my
not.
kids?
I do not believe your pagan ways are secular. I believe your pagan ways, for the most part, are a lot closer to Christianity than I once believed, and I think anything is preferable to secularism. I'm just being honest with you. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to answer that question because I think it's very interesting. So Vin's playlist is eclectic. It depends on his mood. Like, it could be like slash and burn, or it could be like rap, or it could be like hip hop, or then it could be like some like chill Jamaican sounding music. It just like you don't know. It really he just there are certain moods that he gets in, and there's even some punk stuff that you listen to. So if I'm stranded on an island, I'm gonna pick Vin's list, even though the girls have more songs that I'm like, ooh, that's my vibe, but they're all like the same. They all kind of sound the same, and so I think I'd get really bored. If I take Vin's list, it's going to be ridiculous, and I'm going to be able to be stranded there for a very long time, just like really digging into the music. I will say though,
Plus, I have audiobooks on my playlist.
And there's audio, but yeah, there's just so much that's going to be there. But I do think that it would, in the end of it, it would end up depressing me massively because you have nothing else to do. So you're not cooking, you're not taking care of anybody, you're not doing anything. So I think as I was listening to it, I think I'd gained so much insight about who you are as a person that I regret not listening to that list and digging into it. So,
would Sori ever go blonde?
Oh yeah, I think I would. I'd try that one time. What do you think?
There's no country on Vin's list, not right now, but I would put Courtesy of the Red, White, and Blue on there. And that counts as a country song, I think.
Of course it does.
But that's like one of my favorite songs of all time.
But I don't actually listen to a ton of country, so I do sometimes. But what was that? Somebody just... Oh, shoot. Now I just lost what it was. There was something so important.
My daddy served in the Navy, and he lost his right eye.
Did you do some misdirection?
No. I'm just singing that country song. Boy, we lit up your world like the 4th of July. And Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list. And the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist. And the eagle will fly. And it's gonna be hell when you hear Mother Freedom start ringing her bell. And you'll feel like the whole wide world is coming down on you. And that's brought to you courtesy of the red, white, and blue.
Oh, he does say of my red, white, and blue.
We are so corrupt, but I don't care, bro. I love that song. It's USA.
I always did.
Hey, it's USA. It's USA. I don't give a fuck. It's USA.
Oh, man.
Oh, Boda in your ass. That's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name. Oh, man. I'm always going to love that song. I don't care. It's so terrible.
But Sadie, you don't like the sound of it or you hate the concept of it. That's not the same thing. He's not a country fan, but like the concept of it.
Oh man, I remember exactly where I was in that cab when that joint came on. I was like, holy shit, can you say that on the radio? He said he's gonna put a boot in there.
You know what was crazy is, okay, so you guys know we couldn't listen to music growing up. Eventually, we were allowed to listen to some Christian music, but
that man said
my
as soon
cousin
as we could see clearly
was listening to that song.
That big black eye.
Yeah,
man, we lit up the world like the 4th of July.
It's so bad. We're killing people. What? But yeah, my cousin started singing it, and I was like, because he did the curses and everything.
Dude,
I was like, okay.
I
guess when it comes to America, we can curse now.
Yeah, hell yeah. Nigga, folks gonna die, bro.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, I remember that, dude. I remember that situation. That was crazy. That's the only country song I have. But that song is in like my top 5. It's like Got the Life is my favorite song of all time. But that song is like in my top 5, man. Like that right there, like that song was hard as hell. Like I'd love to hear a metal version of that, boy. Whew. Mm-hmm. But like I wasn't expecting it because it was country. I'm like, man, these dudes are soft. They're gonna talk about the ranch and shit. Nah, man, this dude was talking about lightning.
I do like the way that they mix. Like I don't know if you've ever listened to. Yeah, you have a little bit. There's some that mix country and metal together. I was like, that's kind of cool too. All right, guys, here we go. Song number. This is Warning. Live, Dust to Dust. Mm-hmm. Let's do it. Oh, we gotta switch. And it's a okay.
Okay, shorty.
Hey, come on and walk this way. Look what I have prepared to show you. Let me show you how things can quickly unfold. In the end, everything just turns back. start again. Dust to dust, or cold to rust, then we shall start again. Dust to dust, or cold to rust, then we shall start again.
Some strong vocal talent. That was the warning.
Wow.
Them girls.
I can't
Sori
imagine drumming and singing at the same time. That's crazy. Because you're going to have to... I don't even know how that's possible.
I mean, yeah.
You're going to have some I have crazy...
so much,
and the other thing, too...
So much respect for people that do that.
You're not supposed to sit when you do vocals because it makes it harder to, like... get the sound out and stuff. Yeah, so they always tell you to stand up. She can't. She has to sit and play and sing.
Wow.
That's that's a lot of talent right there.
Yeah, that
I love that it's sisters doing it.
And the other the guitarist at the end
was also
when they were doing
singing as well, yeah.
got really, really strong vocals. The other thing too is like I would imagine you've got the mic, but then like your drums also have mics under them, so it's like I feel like you'd almost have to sing even louder, you know what I'm saying? In order to get over the sound of the drums being picked up by the mic that you have.
Well, you know what? You remember when you used to have that job and they had the headsets that would silence all the sound around? There's got to be something like that on the headset because you'd think that it would affect it. Because that was live and it wasn't sounding all crazy, you know?
Well, I mean, I guess if you I guess you could channel the sounds through different... Yeah, I mean, I don't know how that would work.
Well, it'd have to be isolated.
Every time I see
because she had it right on her mouth.
Every time, like, I've been able to do, like, some really cool shit in the world. Like, I mean, it was difficult, but it was, like, 1%er shit that I know for a fact that nobody around me is ever going to have that experience. So it's like, in the adrenaline rush and all that shit. But that's one thing, like, if I had an alternate timeline... I'd have really, really pursued music as far as like being in a band. Yeah.
Really?
Especially if I'd have been able to hook up. If I'd been able to hook up with you around 16, 17, like it would have been over with.
It would have been, but I wouldn't have been allowed to do it. But if I could have done it, it would have been so good. It would have been so good.
The guitarist is actually the lead vocalist. It's just this song, the drummer wanted it.
Oh, okay.
Which is even more impressive to me.
Yeah.
Because it's like if the guitar, but it's crazy because like there's certain parts on this of our stuff where like I have to sing and stuff and like do vocals or whatever, and it's not difficult. Guitar wise.
It doesn't look like it's difficult for you.
But I feel like drumming would be way more difficult.
I would think so. I mean, there's not a lot of people that do it. You see a lot of guitar, you see a lot of guitar singers.
There's a lot of bands that do that.
But you don't really see a lot of singing drummers.
A lot of really important Metallica, Slayer, all the old bands used to be like that. Like, the whole profile with you with the guitar, with singing into the mic, I mean, that is like the prototypical rock. Like, That's like... I
feel like when we eventually get that stuff, like, I feel like I would do like at least a gimmicky one. You know what I mean? Like, give me a couple chords. Let me get a couple of them in there.
Well, we got the blind video on Instagram. I sent it to B. He's like, get it, Sori, go for it. Yeah, I'm going to put her in the band. I was like, wait a second. Put me in the band. I've been loving the band for years.
And he'll actually do the work he's supposed to do.
Come on in, walk this way. Look what I prepared to show you. Let me show you how things can quickly unfold. In the end, everything just turns back into dust. To dust, our bones will rust and we will start again. Dust to dust, our bones will rust and we shall start again. Hey, where are you going? Don't trust all that you hear. Now,
I thought you were talking to somebody in the comment section.
Now, take it in and behold. I don't seek right or wrong. I seek the truth found in death.
Whoa.
Goes hand in hand with remorse. Is it something worth losing, worth pursuing?
Damn, it goes hand in hand with remorse. I
What
seek
does?
the truth found in death. Goes hand in hand with remorse.
There is a lot of true things that death reveals to you. There's a lot of truth that death reveals to you. Like, there are people who are like, damn, I didn't know I loved that person that much. And then there are other people where I'm like, damn, I really didn't really. But then
Oh, really?
Yeah, but I can't really tell because, like, it all came later. So, like, after death number, like, 6 or 7.
Oh.
You know, I don't know if it's, like, desensitized me or whatnot.
Yeah.
But death, I mean, it definitely, it'll tell you about your friends. Like,
Yeah.
when you're in a bad situation and, like, dude's, like, willing to stay beside you, like, that's a really big truth. To me, that's, like, I mean, honestly, like, I don't talk, you know, I hate saying stuff like this because it's such a, like, unique situation to be in that most people are not going to be in. But there is no love like the love that you have for a person that didn't think you were going to make it and was, like, stood there beside you. Like, you
Wow, yeah.
the love that you have for that person, for that human being, like, it's indescribable. It's absolutely indescribable. So, like, there's that kind of truth that love reveals too. Like, that death reveals. Like, yo, this person is, like, that's how committed they are to you. It's like, look, you know. So
Yeah.
they're, you know, I don't say that shit a lot because, you know, it's gonna get misinterpreted or.
Yeah, because it's hard to somebody. You're speaking from your perspective, so then you're saying that somebody didn't believe that you were going to make it, but yet they stood beside you.
Well, yeah, if it's in a bad situation and, like,
Mm-hmm.
but they're willing to be like, okay, we're both going home, nobody's going home. Like, that's just crazy.
Yeah.
Because people say that, you know, even in the hood, people say that, blah blah blah.
You're the only person in my life I've ever met that was like that.
Yeah. And like I said, like, you just don't know until you're in the situation. You just don't know. Like, I've seen, like, real tough dudes, like, real tough, but, like, it was just a bad day for them, and, you know, it's just a bad day. You know what I'm saying? And so they were not able to perform under that pressure, but, yeah, man, there's nothing really like that. So, like, there's a lot of truth that gets revealed in death for sure. Like, it's always been, like, the only thing I'm really afraid of, I think, is wasted time.
Wasted time stresses
Like,
me out if I think too much about it.
like life and time is like, I've got this sand that just keeps, you know what I'm saying? Like, so when you lose people a lot, like, you start getting paranoid. I don't know if it's paranoia, but it's like, when I have memories of people and, like, they're frozen in those moments, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It just makes you a lot more, like, conscious of time and the fact that it's not, that's the ultimate truth, is that, you know, we're not going to be all together, you know, all the time in this plane.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, death makes that a real fact that you cannot overcome.
I think that the experiences that you've had, like, some people, their losses and all those things, like, that their experiences make them, like, a worse and more bitter person. But I think that there's something about your experiences that makes you love people on a different level or a different place. I don't know.
No, I agree with
something that, like, I don't understand, because I've not had any of your experiences, and, you know, and, like, you know, I've been spending time chatting with somebody who had a similar upbringing that I did, and I see similarities between them and I with how mindsets are, and, you know, in engaging with people and stuff. I feel very like we're very much the same in some things.
Yeah.
But, like, I think, I don't know, stuff is, so much of our experiences are like, because you're talking about wasted time, and I've been thinking about wasted lessons, or wasted experiences, and in that regard, like obviously, I mean, in that regard, I think that you gained something from those experiences, because there was all this loss and there was, you know, a lot of bad situations, but you know, you talk about like you can cut people off when stuff gets whatever, but at the same time, like the people, when you love people, you love deeply.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that assessment, but I also think like there's a weird, to me it's a weird situation, but you know, person crossed the line with me, and like I was like, oh, I said okay, and you know me, like if I'm arguing with you and I'm fighting back and forth with you, like I'm in it with you, but like I don't know if it's a character flaw or not. I don't really know, because I'm like not outside of myself, you know what I'm saying? But like it also becomes like when you lose people that quickly without warning all the time, like it becomes very easy to just be like, oh man, like see you later, especially on the internet, man, fuck it, you know. So like person keeps talking shit about me, all this type of shit, and then somebody messaged me like, why don't you talk to so and so, blah blah blah. I'm like, I didn't do nothing to him, like I'm not doing nothing. He's literally like doing 5 or 6 posts on me every day. It's my forum. I'm not doing nothing. The kid is just talking shit the entire time. I'm just not engaging it, because you know how I get down.
Oh
like,
yeah,
like it's over with. So she's like, why can't you? And I'm like, listen to her, because
were they doing those 5 posts before?
I respect the hell out of her. Ooh.
The person?
I mean,
were they always talking shit, or are they doing that to gain your attention back?
I don't really know, because like it's like really the person's like gone. Like something happens in my mind, they're gone. So I don't remember even the shit that he was doing before and any of that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, like it's not like something where like I have to discipline myself not to talk to him. Like you're just fucking disappeared, bro. Like you're out. So I can't even tell you. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know. But you know, so like on the one hand, like for the people that are like in my circle, like yeah, I do anything for them, like literally anything for them. But like that's why there's not a lot of people in my circle. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's something that like it's an open sort of thing in my head where I'm like, I'm completely comfortable with it. I'm completely fine with it. Like, because to me, like I'm not doing nothing to you. You know what I'm saying? It's not like I'm going to like track you down and find you and do some dumb shit. It's just like, I'm no longer engaging with you. Like, you're a negative person, man. Like, I'm not going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, but the way people react to it all the time, like, shit is just weird to me. I don't know. I'll have to try to figure it out. Maybe we'll talk about it later.
People are reacting
to
the
like
way
Shorty's like, yo, like, why are you, you know, can't you guys work it out, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what do you mean? I don't need to work nothing out. I didn't say nothing to do for like 2 months. Like, what are you talking about? Like, why do I don't feel like I have anything to work out. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I don't know. Not sure if anyone mentioned this, but Triuvium is misspelled in the title.
Oh no!
Thank you, Zach. Like, I literally mean that. Thank you.
I literally have Brombit messages me when I have stuff wrong. I appreciate it. I gave her my personal email.
Yeah, like Ian says, like you and your friend are angry at each other. It's ironically a good sign. You both have passion. When you don't have the energy to fight, that relationship is over. Yeah, it's not really an energy thing for me. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just like a switch gets turned off. Like usually when I'm at that level with a person, like I'll hear like next time this person does something, like I'm done with this person. Like, and I don't. See, that's the other thing is, like, I don't make big announcements. Like, I hate that shit, like, on Facebook when people, like, make all these big dramatic announcements about shit. Because I'm always like, oh, you're just trying to get attention, bro. Like, oh, you're going to make it known that you're angry at this person, blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm not like, you know me, I'm not like that. I'm just, you know, if it's over with, it's over with. I'm not going to make some big announcement. I'm not going to get into any drama. Like, you just, like, something clicked in my mind and you see ya. or not. Like, I don't care. And like, if I were to see that person in the street, like, I wouldn't feel like either way. Like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. So I don't know. People don't react very well to it. But then I'm always like, yeah, but that's a consequence of like social media, where like in social media you have this expectation that you're always supposed to be accessible to people. You know what I'm saying? Like back before Facebook and Twitter and before texting and shit, like if somebody like didn't want to talk to you, they didn't want to talk to you. That was it. You just move on with your life. But now you're on Facebook and Twitter, so it's like, hey, and like I don't care. You see what I'm saying? So there's new rules. There's like new social rules and shit like that I haven't really adapted very well to, like these weird social rules. Like somebody messages you, you're a bad person if you don't respond back to them and all that shit. You know, it's called ghosting or something. I'm like, yo, that shit is so crazy to me. Like, I got this Muslim dude, and like, he goes through these phases. Like, I'll ask him some questions, like he'll answer immediately. Other times he won't answer at all. You know what I'm saying? And I understand why he won't answer at all. Like, I just made a video about his buddy Muhammad, so he's not, you know, and he doesn't know why I'm asking him these questions. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they got me tagged as some like anti-Muslim whatever, which is funny, but.
Yeah,
like,
that is funny.
I don't feel like he's obligated to talk to me. Like, I understand why he's not talking to me.
Yeah,
That's
it's
okay.
crazy though, because if something popped off and Christianity turned out not to be true, I'd get myself a hijab right away. I know where this is headed.
What do you mean?
That would be the religion you would go to.
If what?
If Christianity was like definitively proved it wasn't true, you'd go onto Islam, and I'd be like,
I would be in Palestine right now.
what I mean,
if I was a Muslim.
Yeah, I believe it 100%. I would be joining Sadie in paganism.
I definitely see that. But if I
because I feel like Sadie does the paganism in a way that we'd still have a lot of fun too. So bad.
I'm sure, especially with the bevy of chemicals and shit that Sadie has access to.
But yeah, she's got some spots right down the street she told me about.
Old school, just stop talking. You still talk shit about you first, but I have to keep you friended so you can see it. Then unfriend you after seeing your response. Yeah, exactly.
That's so bad.
Exactly. It's crazy to me. It's crazy to me, dude. Like, what?
Yeah.
It's just crazy to me. Like, I'd rather just like not talk to you, man. Like, it's over with. And to me, it's like arrogant to believe, oh, if I stop talking to a person, their whole life is going to end. Like, how arrogant is that?
Well, the other thing, though, babe...
Like, believe me, like, I'm friends with some of y'all, but if you stop talking to me, like, I will survive.
I just, like, heard the song.
And so will you. Like, that shit is weird. Like, I don't know. I just think the world is crazy right now. Go ahead.
I agree that there's some crazy. And there's also some control that people want to keep getting someone to talk to them clearly doesn't want to talk to them. But at the same time, sometimes I'm like, I don't go in the socials very often, but sometimes I'm like, I'm going to go in, I'll respond a couple messages. And so I'll like go into the socials and I'll be like, I have to scroll a ways before I can find messages that haven't been responded to. So like, I think you talk to a lot of people. So I think the average person like does a percentage of what you do. So like if there's like too much and you're like, all right, well, goodbye. There's still a million. I could see why you could forget that person because it's like there's just so many people. Where other people, like we have.
That has nothing to do with it.
We have a little, yeah.
That has nothing to do with it. Because there's people in real life that happen. I've always been.
No, I'm saying, I think that's why other people might not understand it because they don't have like so many people that they're talking to, and it's just a smaller crew. So if there's one missing, you notice it.
Yeah, I don't think that has anything to do with it. I mean, I don't know what it is, but I don't think that has anything because it's like that in the real world too, with people. You've seen that. Venus, blah blah blah. You're not talking to me.
Yeah.
Ghosted. Whatever. That shit is weird to me. Like I don't understand, but.
Baby, you're a powerful personality.
But it's one of those things where it's like everybody.
It's a loss.
If everybody like disagrees or everybody says, "Oh, that's kind of harsh," then I'm not gonna be stupid and be like, "Everybody's wrong and I'm right." Like I think that what I'm saying. That's why it's like an open issue for me. Like I don't know.
You've been having that open for so long. You've been saying that for years.
Well, it's open just because there's always somebody that says, well, what about, like you? But with Homeboy, you're like, well, I mean, we're taking one of our walks. And I knew it was one of those situations where you were like trying to get me to, and I was like, oh, and then same thing with this. Like, Shorty's like, yo, blah, 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 blah. Like, so there's always people like I deeply respect that are like, I don't know. So that's why it's like in my head. It's like I don't even talk to you about this shit. I just say, yeah, I'm not talking to that dude no more. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get into, I told you, and I didn't get into the reasons why you didn't ask. So, whatever. But I don't know. It's an interesting song. Like, the song brought up a couple issues for sure. I really liked the song. I was very, very impressed with the live performance because it was, they were really good, especially the bassists. Like, they were on their shit. Like, because we've been to a lot of live shows with way bigger bands, and the sound and the just the overall show was just, I'm not gonna say it was trash because they were professionals, but it's not what I want out of a rock show. Like, when you're in a rock show, you got to go to a, there's got to be
trash.
I mean, again, they're professional. Trash. They're professional musicians. You can't say they're trash.
Okay, yeah, but we're not comparing to them to the no. We're not comparing them to the local band. You're up there with everybody else, then you're getting compared to everybody else that's there, and you come with some low performance that's trash. It was so boring.
Yeah, I mean, I like this song. 9.4. What'd you give it?
Solid 9.
Yeah, these reviews are like mega long now because we haven't done it in a while. We haven't hung out. Sorry, guys.
That's what's
Sorry. We haven't seen you guys in a while.
Well, I think the other thing, too, is we've got everybody situated right now, so I know I'm not holding anybody up. So I feel like I can just relax and just enjoy the stream.
What you on, Ascender Prime? Are you trying to say that we're too black?
Yeah, what's up with that?
Hey, it's like, you guys look like you've been out in the sun a lot. What
gives? It is summertime.
I haven't bugged Vin for months. I haven't bugged Vin for months. I did give Sori some recipe I thought she poisoned Vin's family with and didn't respond.
No, I told you my phone is all... So I don't have my WhatsApp or any of that.
Yeah, I'm not going to get to particulars, but me and Amy had some jihad and shit, and we figured it out. Mm-hmm. It took a while. But like...
Yeah, but she's not in the same bucket.
No.
So
Amy's
it's not, yeah.
For me personally, it's different, but
right.
Yeah. No, yeah. So you can't really point to her because I never really got to that point with her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas, I mean, I do think I don't know. Maybe it's I don't know. It's obviously not going to get solved on this song. All right, 9.4. What'd you give it?
I gave it a 9.
All right. We shall return, dear listener. More music on the way. I'm Ben.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the Filthy Capitalist option. As Sori says, 125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. 125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and then get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at insori@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go in the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 here and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed, and y'all shall lead them
to buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear
All right,
listener.
you guys. The warning again from DJ Mike. He's going to give us another one. This one is called Choke.
Choke, dear listener.
Oh my God.
This is DJ Mike Franco, as he says, the final song of the day. Don't worry about it though, dear listener. You too and your buddies can be DJs. All you got to do, I think it's 4 songs. 4 songs creates a DJ stream. Mm-hmm. Or you join an alliance. We got an alliance stream coming up soon.
Or you can get creative and.
I think we figured out this situation, so we could do another stream tomorrow. We can be pretty regular in this format, I think.
Yeah.
So we've got that figured out. Misery Biz in the house. Isn't Misery Biz your boy?
What do you mean? Misery Biz is both of our friends. What do you mean?
Your Patreon guy. This is all the art and stuff. Isn't that him?
No, I don't think Misery Biz has sent me any art.
Oh, okay. There's just so many of them.
No, there's so few people. We had a bunch of people sending art, but that's when we had the website up and we were going to be putting it onto the website.
Oh, yeah.
Remember we had a whole art section?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, Kai, I'll check it out.
All right, here we go. This is also Warning.
Yep.
Is the band?
Yes,
okay.
But the name of the song. Whoops. Why red? Okay.
What's the name of the song?
The name of the song is Choke.
Choke. Okay. Do you like that new phone? Do you like it better than the other phone?
You know, I probably do, but I'm so paranoid I'm going to break it. I can't enjoy it.
Why don't you just buy a cover for it?
Because I don't believe I'm keeping this one. I got to go figure it out.
You're going to get the bigger one. She's going to get the bigger one.
The
iPhone 14
I have to get the bigger
wasn't
first.
big enough for this
No,
woman.
the storage.
All right, guys, here we go. Warning. The name of the song is Choke.
Oh, hell, you like this one? Okay.
And Helena likes it, so I'm automatically...
Usually we like the same one.
Automatically going to give it a 2. Here we go, guys. Warning, Choke. Let's do it.
I won't say goodbye. In the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall.
Whoa.
Agree, Kenzo. What a voice. So much soul. Yeah,
Unbelievable. That was...
Them girls can sing, boy.
Flawless. I love that one. Oh my gosh. Babe, you have to try this. The next time you hear a part of the song that you're like crazy about, cup the sides because it forces all the sound to stay inside and it's a pretty ridiculous experience. Wow. Oh my word.
Oh my god.
Wow. I really, 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 really like that. All right.
All right, go for it.
No. I want to hear. Nice try. I
No, go ahead. I just did all that talking before.
Nope. I talk first on every reaction. This one's.
I'm literally
first.
not going to say anything.
Well, neither am I.
Okay. Well, review's over.
That's it, guys.
I mean, I can carry these reviews. Go ahead.
I literally talk every time. All right. Her vocal style is ridiculous. I love it. I guess I'll just capitulate to this control.
We love you too, buddy.
I mean, they're talking about a person that... This is too difficult. This is a very difficult one to talk about because I don't know what I want to say and what I don't want to say.
I talked about dead friends, all types of shit, so it is what it is.
It kind of sounds like this person is in a relationship with someone, but... Oh my god, this one is so difficult. When it said, wear your tears like jewelry, that vice is overpriced, but art is dead, it died with me, don't cry.
Okay, what that mean?
I can't say what those things mean to me. That's the thing. The song was very personal. I mean, I'm going to just say what I think she's talking about. Sounds like she's in a relationship. And she's saying that she's not going to say goodbye in the end, but in the end it's not going to matter because it's going to fall apart anyway. And she's saying, I'm sure I won't survive the fall. So that to me is like she knows that this thing's going to end, but she doesn't think she's going to survive that. Then she says, wear your tears like jewelry, that vice is overpriced. That sounds like the person cries all the time. Maybe instead of dealing with the issues, they just cry about them. And that vice is overpriced. So she's seeing it as a vice is something that is your, like, it's your weakness.
Like a bad addiction.
Yeah, it's like your bad. And that's what the person goes to. And she's saying it's overpriced. Like, I think maybe the person thinks their tears are worth more than they really are. To that, like, maybe those tears aren't worth anything to her. Like, she sees the tears and she's like... I was reading this thing on narcissists and if they... like how they feel about crying, and like basically it was saying that that like a narcissist will only cry for themselves and their tears are like not even real, it's just an act. So it kind of reminded me of that when it said wear your tears like jewelry, that vice is overpriced. But I didn't understand when she said art is dead, it died with me, don't cry. Like to me that got very personal because this one I can say, because I used to like music once I got my license and then I could listen to anything I wanted to, even though it was against my parents' wishes. I did start listening to a lot more music and kind of, experiencing the radio and enjoying that. And I would just drive for hours just listening to music. And there was a point in my life where I was like where music didn't really move me and it felt like I was dead because music felt dead to me. And all forms of art just stopped. There was just no expression of art from me. And that was like a really kind of scary point to be at because you should be able to feel, especially moving songs, but nothing could. So that was like a crazy... So that it reminded me of that. So I don't know what she meant when she said that. But when it said, art is dead, it died with me, don't cry. Like, I don't know if she's still talking to the other person. Oh my gosh, Sadie, I didn't get that. But it could be. I just took it as like the person is like, you look like you're gonna speak now.
I'm listening to you.
And I think that they're kind of like at the point where they're just like, just let me drown. Let me dive in, sink in deeper, push my head and choke me till I drown, let me drown. It sounds like they don't want to keep fighting it anymore. And they just want to be like, just friggin' drown me and get this over with. Drifting out of trust, slipping down my throat into my lungs. It's cold, but this is where I'll stay, comfortably in pain. Like, it seems like that other person is not going to change. They're just staying in those same, like, tearful, you know, crying about stuff instead of actually changing. And this person has gotten to the point where they're like comfortably in pain. Like, they've been in it so long and it's been like that for so long that they just accept that they're always going to be in pain. Like a machine, every day I'm on hold, breathe in, breathe out. I keep on waiting, tearing at my will. I wish I would just stop. To me, it sounds like somebody who realizes that this relationship or this whatever, like, should be done with, but that they can't let themselves let go of it. And, but at the same time, they're saying, like, that they're in pain. They wish to be drowned. Like, it's not good. They're in a very, very bad spot.
Damn. Sorry, Jorge. Apologies.
You did.
We're reviewing it right now. My bad.
But you know what? It's a live stream that's going to go post up on the channel, so you'll be able to go back and, you know.
I think what Hotep said. I took Artist Dead It Die With Me as saying I was a creativity and beauty in your life and now I'm gone.
Whoa.
This song was definitely written by a woman. However, I'm not sure what that. I should have curated. Oh, fucking Doug. Yeah, I mean, it looks like she's like.
I love you, Daddy.
I love you too. I would love it if you rolled around that way and made yourself obedient and listened to us. It's 12:30. You guys are like almost 4 hours past your bedtime, so be quiet. Don't get high tonight. Read the Bible. Yeah, like what did he say?
We don't have a Bible, Daddy. It must be in the living room.
All right, just be quiet. Lay down. Yeah. People's emotions are very, very interesting, and when you're in the heat of battle with some shit, like people say things they don't necessarily mean all the time. But it looks like Shorty pretty much figured out the game, and I think she was saying like, okay, I'm out of here. But it doesn't seem like it's a clean break.
Like
she's saying let me drown, which basically means that it looks to me like he's been saving her from drowning, and she's saying this time let me drown. So I don't know if it's one of those situations where the metaphor is like he was keeping the relationship alive and she's saying I'm going to do something to sabotage it, just let the relationship go. Like, I'm not particularly certain like what she's saying in that situation, but it does look to me like, because she's not saying like, it's not like I'm going to completely walk away from you. She's still putting the autonomy ultimately in his court, saying let me drown.
Right.
So
but
which is kind of like this to me, like, you know, it's like the whole Twilight thing where Edward wasn't talking to her and then she drives off of a bridge. And then he's got to go rescue her because she drove off a bridge and all this. Like, I cannot.
She walked off it. Right?
I cannot stand that shit. I don't know. She walked off it or what? Like, but like I'm. You know, I'm not very good with that stuff. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't see that shit as romantic. Like, I see that shit as like manipulative. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But obviously, like, if I was in that situation, you're not gonna let your girlfriend like drive off of a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But like, I would have saved her life and like never spoken to her again. I'd be like, yo, I'm moving to like Yugoslavia, bitch. So like, the next time you want to drive off of a cliff, man, like, you know, rest in peace. Like, that's how, I mean, you know me, that's what I would have done. You know what I'm saying? Like, I cannot stand like even feeling like I'm being manipulated. I'm certain there's times when like with me and you or the kids or whatever where it was genuine, but I like interpreted it as, oh, you're trying to manipulate me. So, you know what I'm saying? So like I'm. Yeah, like if somebody were ever to sing that song to me, I'd probably like that probably wouldn't be the right song to sing to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it just you know.
Well, when she says, "I won't say goodbye," in the end, it won't matter at all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. Do you think that she's saying the fall? What do you think the fall is? Do you think that the fall is?
It just looks to me like she wants something to change in the relationship, and she is using all this extreme terminology, this passive-aggressive, like, just leave, I'm not going to survive the fall, let me drown, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, man, it's 2023. Like, if you want to drown, shorty, go do that shit. Don't put it on me. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's
so crazy. I did not see it like that.
But yeah, it's different. Men and women are going to interpret shit differently.
No, I saw it as, okay, that he was the one that was wearing his tears like jewelry. He's, you know, which is rare, I think, that men would be
I think
trying
that's
to
what he
manipulate.
was saying to her. See, I'm interpreting her as the manipulator in the relationship, not him.
Well, yeah, I can see why you would do that.
So like when she makes that statement, I think that's what he's been saying to her about her tears or whatever. I don't look at it as he's like crying and she, you know, she's saying that to him, because she's being manipulative in the song. Let me drown. It's like, well, why don't you just drown? Like, he still has to do it. It's still going to be his fault.
Yeah, no, I thought that she was saying, put that back, please. Put that back. I took it as she's
of course
in the
you would,
relationship.
Vin, but you are wrong.
She's in the relationship with him, and he's the problem in the relationship, but she can't get herself to leave. And so she's saying, like...
Let me drown.
Let me drown. One is, maybe she's saying, like, I'm not going to say goodbye, just... Or maybe she's saying that even though he wears his tears like jewelry, his device is overpriced, art is dead, it died with me, like, all that stuff, like, maybe... Drifting out of trust, slipping out of hands. Maybe she's just saying, like, she understands she's not going to leave the relationship, so she also understands that she's just going to stay here and die and drown. And stop trying to resurrect it like I'm just going to drown in this.
Yeah, I mean, Jorge and the rest of those folks agree with you. Like, so but to me, she's doing the manipulative shit. She's saying, I won't say goodbye, which is a form of saying goodbye. It didn't matter anyway. It won't matter at all. I mean, that's all. I'm sure I won't survive the fall. Like, I don't know. Like, that to me is like... Because now, how's he supposed to respond to that?
Yeah,
oh, no!
No, but if you read more, he's the problem. It sounds like he's the problem. Oh, because you think that he's saying that to her about the tears. I thought that was him.
Well, in any relationship, they're both the problem. Right? Because we're Christians, so we believe that you got two sinners that are working together to try to solve them. See, that kind of like bifurcated thinking, like, who's the problem? Like, to me, it's like, we should just assume that both of us are going to bring problems into the relationship. We don't have to say that, you know, the relationship is in a bad place because of one person or whatnot. But to me, it's like, when if a woman says, I'm done with you, I've had your shit, like Erykah Badu had this song called Call Tyrone, and it was like I'm leaving you, and your buddy Tyrone is a more manly than you in every way possible, and I'm out of here. Like, that to me is like, okay, like, I'm with it. Like, I get it. Like, shorty's done. She's over with. She's moved on. She's breaking up with you, and she's going to spike the football in your face. That's how it goes. Like, I understand that. But the whole, like, I'm going to die if this relationship doesn't work out. She's saying she won't survive the fall. Like, all that shit has been emotional manipulation. Like, why would you tell somebody that? Oh, we're going to break up, and I'm not going to survive this breakup.
No,
like,
I thought she's saying
she's saying I won't survive the fall.
Yeah, I thought she's saying she's not going to say goodbye, and in the end, it doesn't matter if she's not going to say goodbye because the relationship is so bad.
Because she's going to die. Because she's going to die. Because she can't survive. Look, it says right there.
I won't survive the fall.
Yeah, it's just a manipulative bullshit. Why would you tell a person that? Like, Erykah Badu didn't say that. She's like, I'm off of Tyrone, I'm good. But if a guy tells a woman, like, yo, if you leave me, I'll kill myself.
Oh. Wait, that's what she said? I don't think that's what she's saying.
She's saying she won't survive the fall. What's the fall?
I think that she's saying that if she ends she doesn't have it in her to end the relationship, even though it hasn't been healthy or good for her.
Because if she does, she'll die. Because she won't survive the fall.
Well, I mean, I don't think she's literally going to drown and choke down into her lungs. I think that she's being expressive about saying
so
how
is a manipulative boyfriend who says he's going to kill himself if they're not together. How is that different? The guy says, if you leave me, I'll kill myself. How is that different from...
If that's what she's saying, then yeah, that's manipulative. I won't survive the fall.
Well, what does that mean? I just said
it was like just being dramatic.
I won't survive the fall. What does that mean? She's saying, let me drown, push my head under the water. Like, that's all... To me, that's all manipulative bullshit. She's putting the breakup on him, and she's saying, you're doing all these horrible things to me. When in reality, like, she's got the autonomy. She can just leave. She don't got to do all this dramatic shit, talking about killing herself, all types of weird shit. Like, I don't know. Like, that doesn't resonate with me at all. Like, as a person, like, and we've never had a conversation like this, like, where you say, I want to kill myself, we're not together. But, like, if you did, like, it wouldn't be a good conversation with us, because, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, one, I have that shit in my life. You see what I'm saying? Like, I've had people, like, actually do that shit. So, to me, I interpret all those things a little bit different because I've actually had people and lost people that way.
Oh, yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, for me, I'm like, that shit doesn't work with me at all, man. I'm like, I'm not going to say what I would say if somebody said that shit to me, but, like, it just doesn't... to me, it looks like he was not being as empathetic as she wanted him to be. And now she's saying, I'm going to show you what this is really like. Let me drown. You know, let me dive in, sink deeper, choke me till I drown. Like, what do you mean? That's not emotional manipulation? She's putting all this shit on him. Like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't interpret the song that way, but yeah, I see what you're saying. But when she says, like a machine, every day I'm on hold.
Okay, so Hell says she's talking to herself. It's not about a relationship at all. I mean, obviously, you could say she's talking to herself, but
what is she talking about at the beginning? Though?
Obviously, there is a relationship.
She won't say goodbye to herself.
Yeah, it's not. She's saying goodbye to herself. Like, I don't. But like I said, like I'm taking a very cynical, interpretation of this just because of my experiences. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not. I don't. Like. It's a good song as far as like what it sounds like, but just for me and my experiences in life,
it sounded awesome.
Me and my experiences in life like that doesn't. It just doesn't. That type of stuff doesn't resonate with me. You know what I'm saying? It's because like.
Well, it's victim stuff.
Well, she might, but it might be a victim. Like, I don't have a problem with people being hurt and expressing that they're hurt. I just don't like the whole passive aggressive like. Oh, I'm gonna drown and you're gonna drown me and all this. It's like, can we just find every possible way to blame this dude for your issues? Like, what the hell? Like, take some responsibility. Like, if that's what I would listen. If the girls came up to me and they said blah 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 and I'm gonna kill myself, this dude blah blah, I'd be like, yo man, just get the fuck out the relationship. Like, what y'all doing? Like, I hope the girls don't develop that kind of mentality in their relationships, that passive aggressive bullshit. Like, I would hope that they would, conduct themselves like grown ass women and do the Tyrone thing. Say, see ya. I'd much rather that than this. I mean, but like I said, like I'm not very good with that stuff. You know what I'm saying? That like I don't know.
Why do you think it's romanticized in, like you said, Twilight? Please put that cover away from your mouth.
When she says, I won't say goodbye at all, she means she won't say goodbye to those around her. She's just going to let go. Well, yeah, she's just going to let go, but everybody's going to know it's that dude's fault. You see what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. Like, what were you saying about Twilight?
Why do you think they romanticize that?
Well, I don't think they. Who is they? I think
the writers.
I think women romanticize that stuff. I think women romanticize putting a dude in a situation where, like, he's done with you, but then you do some manipulative shit, and then he has to come back and rescue you to show that he really loves you and all that shit. I think that's a form of, female psychology, but I don't see dudes romanticizing that. Like, dudes, we don't romanticize that situation at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's interesting because the motif of the guy who rescues a damsel in distress is a very, high bar that a lot of men love and resonate with. Saving a girl from the dragon and stuff. So that category is there, but when it's in this kind of context, like, you don't see a lot of stories or movies where guys are celebrating that kind of dynamic.
Yeah, because the damsel in distress, save her from the dragon, like, that's not a situation she put herself in to get him to do that.
I just think it's different. The danger's coming from outside instead of your, your obvious...
She drove herself off the cliff. She did it.
Obviously, like, if you're seriously thinking of... See, this is my... Especially, like, the whole trans debate when it's like, blah, 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 if your kid kills himself, it's your fault. Like, that shit... When people are at the point where they are planning to kill themselves, there is a bevy of psychological issues that are happening. And so to blame it on the last event, to me, is absolutely crazy. And there's so many parents that have dead trans kids and did everything right. But because of the comorbidities that go with gender dysphoria, suicidal ideation is one of those comorbidities. And people love to make this leap, like, oh, if you don't say this person's pronoun, blah blah blah, they're gonna jump off a bridge and it's your fault. It's like, no. Anybody who jumps off a bridge has a bevy of issues that have been unrecognized or untreated or whatever. Nobody kills themselves for only one reason. So, that's true. Like, for me, it's like, look, and I'm coming from a mental health background, I've been a suicide survivor, both on both sides of the situation. So whenever something like that comes up to me, I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna take responsibility for you jumping off a bridge, dude. Like, you got a whole constellation of issues that you didn't deal with. And now you're trying to make me the person that's supposed to heal all those issues for you. And if I don't do that, you're going to jump off, man.
Yeah.
Like, I would never, you know what I'm saying? Like, there are deaths that I have, like, internalized and carry around, that I will carry around for the rest of my life. But that wouldn't be one of them. That would not be one of them. About one's pain and being willing to let it swallow them whole. It speaks to the idea that wearing your emotions like jewelry does not make them any less real, and that art may have died for the singer, but that doesn't mean its effects are not still felt. That's a good one. Warning. The song speaks with deep-seated anguish and desperation and desire to escape from it through self-harm, described as letting oneself drone and track, etc., etc. I mean, it's art, so music is just how we interpret it. You know what I'm saying? So I think all of us can get there based on the lyrics. I think the song was great. I thought the vocal style was incredible.
It was perfect. It was absolutely perfect.
They understand what their superpower is, and their vocals. And
I think whoever said that there was like that soul in there, like she was putting it out in that vocals. Oh my word. Okay, when I hear stuff like that, it's stuff like this that makes me think we gotta get to the studio.
Right. Yeah. No.
You hear guitar stuff and you're like, we gotta get to the studio. Yeah. I hear this and I'm like, no, we need to get to the studio.
Yeah, this band, I got a lot of respect for this band, Warning, for sure, because like they're on it. They're really, really on it. And vocally, they're just super mega. Like, no disrespect to Kitty, but like Kitty was the first girl band I heard, and like they just rocked. Like, but they came up during the nu metal era. And nu metal, you didn't have to be that good of a vocalist. You know what I'm saying? Or guitars. But these girls, like, vocally speaking, they're like superior. I think they're really, really good. This is a 9.8. That's why I homeschool my kids at Sender Prime. I don't want them people and their crazy ideas getting to my kids' head. I only want them to have my crazy ideas. Go to therapy later.
Let other kids influence them with their bad ideas from their parents that don't disagree.
Or the crazy ass teacher with fucking blue hair with no children or something.
I thought you were going to say something else. Or this was a 10 for me. I love this song. Absolutely
Yeah,
10.
9.8. The most important thing for folks to understand, though,
100%.
is that the warning was influenced
Yeah.
by the Beatles.
Heavily. It was obvious. It was obvious to anybody who knows anything.
Heavily influenced by Los Beatles.
Oh my gosh. So like 5 songs ago, or 3 or something, we were talking about like a better world or something like that, and I was thinking like, I thought about Imagine, and I was gonna say it in the stream, but then I forgot, because I was thinking if you had the Sermon on the Mount, which is Matthew 5.
Yeah, Matthew 5 through 7, basically.
Matthew 5 through 7. Basically, that's like what a theocracy would look like. Would you say like this is what the world would look like if it was? This is what a good world would look like. A Christian world would look like if everybody followed these things. Like
democratic theocracies.
How that would change things. And so anyway, I was gonna just commission you guys, all you listeners, go read those chapters. Give it a little shot. You know, like we listen to all these crazy lyrics sometimes, but like take some time, go in there and check out that and imagine. Shout out to John Lennon. A world where Matthew 5 through 7 was what was practiced by you and everyone around you. What a type of world that would be. And then think of all the worst situations that you've been in, the stuff that like damaged you the most, and be like, is there one of these spots that if this was being practiced, that wouldn't have happened? So
they said we shouldn't avoid emotions no matter how hard, and that we all need a safe space to work out those emotions.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
No, I think that's yeah. I mean, there's a sense in which the original intention belongs to the author, and then once it gets to us, like, we're gonna interpret it the way that we interpret it.
I mean, that's art. Like their art inspires our art, like the way that we would interpret a song, what we would see,
I'm
how we
hoping
apply it.
I'm glad we did the 2 warning songs back to back, because I'm hoping that it's gonna make more people look into this band, because I'm very intrigued by this band. Mm-hmm. And their vocal style. For sure. 9.8 for me.
It's a 10 for me. Another great
It's a
stream.
10 for you. Another great stream in the books,
By
dear
DJ
listener.
Mike.
Shout out to DJ Mike, gang. Hey, thank you, dude, for being so patient, man. There's a lot of start-stops and a lot of hiccups, but I think I figured it out. So, inshallah, we should be good to go after this. God is a concept by which we measure our pain. That is a very interesting idea. I'm going to be thinking about that tonight for sure. All you beautiful people, like, share, comment, and subscribe. We're going to be back here tomorrow, inshallah. We should be able to be streaming in a more consistent fashion now, so that's good.
So does that mean evenings are open back up?
Yes, evenings are opening back up. A lot of things are opening back up, dear listener. And be on the lookout if you're a Middle American.
They're opening, or they are open?
They're open. They're good.
Okay.
It's open. And be on the lookout if you're a Middle American, dear listener, because that's coming down the pike too. DJ freaking Mike says thank you for joining us.
Shout out to Mike.
Thank you for being here, DJ Mike. That was incredible, and you introduced us to not a new band, but a new band for us, The Warning. Shout out to them. Let's do an interview, ladies. Maybe you can settle the debate for us, eh?
Yeah. Answer these questions.
On to these, All right, guys, Vin out.
Sori out.